Things are going to get easier.
Yeah, I think we live.
All right. Let's boogie. What's up, everybody? Welcome, Planet Xbox, episode 60. It is the Best Bot, Kid Smooth, back at you guys. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, lovely day. We got a lot to talk about. Don't worry, we'll talk more beyond the headline. I did not know what we were going to talk about today, but then I thought about it. Like, we got a couple things to talk about.
So you brought a box of smoke with you today? It's looking like you brought a box of smoke to the podcast today.
I don't know if I got. If somebody wants the smoke, they can get the smoke. I mean, right now, you know, I'm just letting shit like heat up. But if anybody wanted to bring it there, we can bring it there. But how you doing, Merc?
Oh man, good man. I can't complain. Glad. What episode number are we on right now?
We're on 60, dude. Monumental 60, man.
All right, there we go. We're at 60, man. We're getting up there. So, man, looking forward to tonight's topics. Man, let's get into it, man.
All right, grinds my gears, man.
Oh boy, what's up? This is Jed7780. This grinds my gears, and this is what I was talking about all day on Twitter. So I guess I got to repeat myself again.
You guys bring that energy tonight, boy. I hear it.
And Frog, man, what's up?
I'm doing good, man. I just realized that we're close to. It's been close to a year. I've been on this podcast. Pretty soon. Yeah, because I remember having a whole bunch of Xbox X talk before before it came out. So yeah, I'm enjoying being here, man. It's great.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I know we're getting up for the X right now. Like, because it came out.
We were gearing up. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And Jez held strong. He never bought it.
Nah, I didn't, man. Not yet. I'm waiting, baby. I'm waiting for that.
And then Addict, I don't know if he's coming or not, but hopefully he comes soon. Shout out to Addict if he's somewhere. He should be joining soon. But man, let's start out with last week. I didn't want to give my opinion on Spider-Man. My review is out. You guys,
we were all wrong.
You were all wrong. What you
all wrong with what? I'm sorry.
With the grade that Smooth's gonna give it.
The grade I get, my Spider-Man grade.
Yeah, he gave it the same thing I thought I gave it. Yeah, I thought it was a 9.
Yeah, cool game. I had fun with it. I had fun talking about it. I had fun tweeting about it. It's really easy to get people like upset. Not even when you're not trying to get anyone upset. I was very vague about the game on Twitter, but no, I enjoyed my time with the game. I want to say just over 20 hours on it. I'm contemplating going and try to get my first platinum. So I might do that. Go back to it since I know it's really achievable, and watching other people get it gives me that competitive, envious.
Very, very achievable. The hardest things to do to me for the platinum, and they're not even hard, they're just really time consuming, are the Taskmaster challenges. Those are the things that are most annoying in the game to do. Like once you get a hang of it, you're like, okay, cool. But to me, Taskmaster, that's where you're gonna run into some problems with the platinum.
Yeah,
because I was struggling to get and then when I finally got, I was like, cool, good, But yeah.
Thinking about it, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure if I want to do it, but right now, I've been playing. After Spider-Man, I have got through, touched on some of the Forza demo, and now I'm currently playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And honestly, man, I'm going to beat it tonight after the podcast, and hopefully I can have my review up by tomorrow afternoon. I didn't expect. Like after I felt like, man, I just had an experience with Spider-Man. I was like, I came into Tomb Raider lukewarm because even though I'm a fan of the game, the series, I love Rise of the Tomb Raider. I like the 2013 game. I was like, Crystal Dynamics isn't really doing this one. It's getting sort of a lukewarm response, but I quite didn't. Every time I was watching a review, I wasn't really getting the gist of what was wrong with the game. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go at it. So I wasn't as hyped going into Shadow of the Tomb Raider as I was going into the Rise of the Tomb Raider. Right. So, and it was just like, all right, I'm playing through it. And I'm thinking I'm gonna put this down for a little bit. I'm gonna pick it back up. I'm thinking, no, I'm playing. I'm like, oh no, I still rocks with it. Like I can't put it down. And so it's literally like what I did with Spider-Man. Like when I was playing Spider-Man, I was on a mission. I wanted to complete it by a certain time. But when I booted up Tomb Raider, I wasn't on a mission to like beat it by a certain amount of time or anything. I was just like, I wanted to play. I wanted to get it started. And I've been playing it literally. If you replace the weeks, if we go back to last episode, I was probably at the end of Spider-Man. Like on a podcast, right? But I was playing it like all for that week, dedicated to nothing else. Spider-Man. Didn't touch NBA Live. I was just on Spider-Man. Now in Tomb Raider, just by not because I want to review it, it's because that's how much I've been enjoying the game. I didn't touch anything else after. That's why I just been Tomb Raider. I gotta play. I want to. What else can I hide? There's a lot that I like about the game. A couple things that I don't like about it, but I'm just kind of curious what's the lukewarm response for it. But maybe I'll cover it in my review. But I don't know if any of you guys got the game. If any of you like dug in. I know a lot of people were waiting.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm definitely I'm gonna get it, but I'm waiting for a sale. I'm waiting for that $29 or below price drop. It seems like something I'm definitely, because I played and beat the other two, but I did get them when they were like 19, 29, 19, because the game, it seemed like the price dropped on it really quick. For the first one seemed like it stayed there, but the second one, Rise of Tomb Raider, it seemed like that price drop when it came to PlayStation really quick. So maybe this one will take longer, but once it drops to 29, I think I'll definitely pick it up digitally and play it. You know, and I think I'm gonna have fun with it. I think I'll enjoy it. You know, I think it'd be a cool game for me to get into. I don't have anything against it.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet though, but I'm really interested in it though. I'm probably gonna get it soon. Once I finish Spider-Man, I'm still like halfway through that.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with Jazz. I got to get through Spider-Man first, but it's definitely on my radar. It's a game I'm definitely going to play. I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm ducking your review, Smooth. I'm just letting you know, ducking your review.
No, I won't spoil it.
How the mission structures though? Is it open? Like, is it? I know there's hub world, and then how's the mission structure that? Like, is it a kind you could do a couple of missions at the same time, or is it like still single? Like, is it still taking through a narrative? Or
the mission basis, the mission's narrative. It's linear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's still linear, but
it's not like taking multiple missions at a time. I think side missions you can take multiple side missions at a time. That you can do. But as far as like the main mission is kind of just you're following kind of really the story that they have set forth. Is every place, every area you're in this social area where there's people where you can get side missions and stuff like that. I like the way how they reveal tombs and special like locations and stuff like that and treasure in the game, because the people that they add in the game become useful when you're like talking to them, even though the conversation is nothing, but they'll reveal in their conversation where they saw something, highlight on the map and whatnot. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I like it. I mean, a lot of people want to compare, I guess, the looks of it to Rise of the Tomb Raider, but the thing is, Rise of the Tomb Raider took place in the like completely different location. There was like snow, and people loved the whole icy mountain and how that looked. This one, you're in a jungle. It's like a lot of vegetation. I like what they did with the game, because graphically, I mean, the game looks really, really good. And some people were saying, selected people said it looked worse than Tomb Raider, and I'm like, what kind of?
No, the screenshots I saw, they look pretty good.
The screenshots I saw look really clean.
It looks really good.
It looks great.
Like, it looks totally different than what they were shot. Like those couple of Twitter videos that like her in the flood.
I think like because the thing is that there's a lot of like the flood thing, which was a cool part of a cool occurrence that happens in a game. There's some set pieces in this game that they didn't show at all in trailers or in like gameplay reveals and stuff like that. That kind of like, oh, okay. They have. That's like
cool, because that's what it's known for. I like that.
Yeah, I recorded it, but I'm not going to put it in my review at all, because it is one of the few moments. My thing is with this game, it doesn't have a lot of those awesome, like crazy, like set pieces, but they do have this one in this game that's just like, whoa, like that was awesome. Like that was also like get your blood pumping awesome. Like, I mean, that's where I'm like, yo, that's Tomb Raider. Like right there. That's what but you'll see when you get there. It's just so loud and just badass, but it's pretty
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good because that's what they're known for. Those set piece moments are pretty cool. She still have the gruesome deaths.
Yeah, it's kind of there's this death where I hate, like, for example, if you're running into, like, let's say if you jump into water, not water because you know you can swim, but if you're like on your way, let's say on a waterfall, you mistakenly fall, and you know how the water pressure like just brings you to like the nearest rock to get smashed into.
Yeah,
it's just like, come on, man, how you gotta like fall like directly? Why I gotta hit this rock like that? Like, let's like
some of those things, man. Some of those death animations from the other ones are crazy. She gets like impaled by the branches and stuff, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, there's a couple of death scenes. Like there's one where you in this one section of the game, you fall off of like a cliff and then you like break your leg and then you just wait there till dogs come and eat you.
Oh
yeah, wow. It's ridiculous. I'm like, really, man?
That's crazy.
That's pretty funny.
So but so everybody's, you guys, Jez, you're on Spider-Man. Mercury,
I'm still
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Spider-Man. What else I'm playing? Did Spider-Man? I jumped in some Battlefield 1, and I can't believe after playing Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5. Like, I know it's a beta. I just hope that they, that Battlefield 1 is like, it looks better, I think, than Battlefield 5. So hopefully they fix it in the beta when they come out with the final release. I heard that they're not having another Battlefield 5 beta at all. Like, it's going to be released as is. They're not doing any beta.
Oh, no more beta.
Dice came out. Dice came out, and they put a laundry list of stuff that they want to change for the final release. A lot of stuff. They were going to look at the time to kill, which is a complaint from a lot of people. Even though I know some people like it, the death animation, it looks like they're going to change.
Oh, get that out, please! You have to go Battlefield 1 not having that. It's amazing. Like,
they may change the spotting mechanic again, so they may bring it back how it was before. They have to change that. So thank you. Apparently they're listening, bro. Apparently they're listening because it's their
I don't think they're gonna have another beta though. That's why I think they said there's no more beta.
Yeah, no more beta. No more beta. That's it.
Yeah. Was it me? Was I dreaming or did I see like a beta for Red Dead Redemption?
No, that got announced today. Yeah, the Red Dead Redemption is gonna have a. So I think they're doing exactly what they did with GTA. They're gonna just have basically their online beta thing, and it's not gonna be fully like it's gonna be a beta, but they're not gonna have like Red Dead Online at launch. It seems like it's going to be the beta at launch or something like that.
So the game is not. So the game is going to launch sometime in the multiplayer is going to launch a month after the game. Apparently, maybe
something like that. Let me see. When was the beta? I thought the beta was.
I think it's October. Like they're going to do it like they did GTA.
Yeah, I got to look because it was so much crap going on.
If I read it correctly, the beta for the online launches with the launch of the game.
Yeah,
did I understand that correct?
That's what I thought. Let me see. Yeah, that's what I thought. And it's basically whereas GTA, it didn't launch at all. There was no online. Now it seems like they're going to put a beta out with the launch of the game, and then they'll release fully. Let me see. Multiplayer component, Red Dead. Let's see. They say that beta to release a month after Red Dead 2. Okay, wait. That's where. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what the hell.
All right.
Let me check what this
says. Jay said reviews for Red Dead Redemption 2 shouldn't have any credit until the game fully released with multiplayer. They did
that shit with GTA.
I think they did the same thing with GTA 5.
They reviewed it separately.
Online was right.
Let's be honest though. Like you buying Red Dead to play, the online?
No, not the online. No.
Yeah, because I don't play GTA online. I'll be honest with you. I could care less about GTA Online. So I guarantee you I'm not going to care even less about Red Dead 2 Online.
I'm surprised they didn't launch the game separately. They could have.
Yeah, you're right. It's going to launch in beta when the game launches, and then it's going to be fully released in November.
Okay.
So that's what I understood. That's what I understood.
So anybody who buys the game already buying into the beta, or you just got to get selected?
No, you just get the beta.
I think if you already have. Right. Yeah, I think if you already get the game, like you already have it.
Okay.
Correct.
And that probably means it's not going to function probably for the first week or two. The online.
We didn't see anything like this. Is the first we got of a multiplayer was just an announcement for a beta, but we don't know nothing of what it may potentially offer. I mean, are we thinking GTA Online, but in the Red Dead universe, like
something like that?
Yeah. No. It's gonna be interesting to see what they come up with for that.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking forward to it. But Red Dead, believe it or not, Red Dead Redemption has not been on my hype list at all. You know, I mean,
what? Come on, man. Come on.
It hasn't. Remember when you said remember we did the list of if we had 3 games to anticipate or some shit like that.
Yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider. You had Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
And what else was it?
I think Live, Assassin's Creed,
Live,
and Tomb Raider.
I think I had Smash, Red Dead, and was it Fallout? No, maybe not Fallout. I think it was Spider-Man. That was before Spider-Man came in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mine was Spider-Man, Fallout, and Red Dead.
Yeah,
I just need these games to come out. I need these games to come out so we can start putting together like games of the year. I'm looking forward to that. I need Red Dead to come out.
I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're just over a month away from Red Dead. I'm curious to see how launch is impacted.
I know. You have Red Dead, and next month is going to be Red Dead. It's going to be Forza.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be
Assassin's Creed.
It's going to be Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wrestling for me, I like the WWE. I tell you, it looks really good, and they have some sort of crazy.
Man, it always looks freaking good. I just wanted to play like how the THQ games play.
I know.
Smash is next month too, right?
No, Smash is December.
Smash is December. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. You know, the thing is that last year they updated the graphics finally in wrestling. This year it looks even better, but they added a crazy bunch of new modes. Like they got the delete outside the haunted. I forgot what the hell they call that match, but it's like a haunted house, like a fun house match they got. I don't know. We'll see. I always get hyped for the wrestling ones. I'm not going to get the DLC. They did announce that, and they got some wrestlers from NXT. So not really like the only one I wanted to play was Ricochet. He is friggin' incredible, but I'm gonna have to hold off. I'm not gonna get the season pass. I usually do, but I'm gonna hold off. But it looks good this year. Fire Pro Wrestling. I know it's only on PlayStation and PC, but that is really cool. It kind of reminds me of the old school the Aki games, like the THQ ones, but it's more cartoony, and they got tons of customizations that people created basically everything in wrestling. But Fire Pro, I've been loving that. The campaign is like whatever. It's easy achievements and trophies. I got like 50% just by playing it.
That's a game Jed's gonna triple dip. Don't lie.
What? Fire Pro's pretty good. I like it, but it's not on Xbox though. They don't.
It's on PC though, right?
It's on Steam. It was on Steam early access.
I think it's on Steam.
Yeah. But man, I gotta tell you, I'll tell you the craziest thing with Fire Pro is that the way to get the characters is that you have to use there's a link inside the game that kicks you to the PlayStation web browser, and then you basically are on the web browser and you subscribe to the person, and it loads it into your game, and then you got to set up the stable. It's pretty crazy how they do it. It's not as integrated as WWE is, but the stuff that people created, I can't believe the move sets that they got. They got moves from everybody that you could ever think of. And they got like barbed wire death match. They got cage matches, and they got 8 guys in a ring at one time. It is cartoon looking, but it plays so great, like a wrestling game.
Old school arcade.
Yeah, and it's really authentic to wrestling. Like there's crazy things, like the referee gets, you could like hold a move and get disqualified, like against the ropes and stuff like that, which is some things the other game didn't have. But it's pretty good, and it's like $40, I think. But yeah, Fire Pro is awesome. That's the first time I played Fire Pro. I always heard about it.
How much is it?
$40.
I think it's 40.
Does it look decent then?
Yeah, it looks good. It's not realistic. It's not like it's cartoony looking. It reminds me of the old THQ games, the Aki.
Yep, the old arcade games.
Yeah, the old ones like No Mercy and things like that. But it's
you don't like those EA games, right? Like the WWE?
No, not those. Like SmackDown.
Trash, bro.
SmackDown for PlayStation. Oh man, SmackDown for PlayStation was like, oh my god, that was horrible.
What?
I did not like SmackDown. That was like an arcade over the NW, the 64 one.
I agree with Jazz right there.
I know. Here's the thing. No. All right.
Over the 64 games.
64 games. Wrestling games.
I only like 2. I know people like the WCW ones, but I hated these WCW.
No Mercy and WrestleMania.
I have No Mercy and WrestleMania were great, but for that time, WrestleMania and No Mercy were better than the SmackDown counterparts.
Yes,
at the same time.
That were on PlayStation. Yeah.
However, since that shit only lasted on Nintendo 64, I thought the PlayStation 2 era of SmackDowns were just godlike. Like I'm like,
I never had them.
They were better than the GameCube WrestleMania Day of Reckoning series to me, and then it was better than the Raw's War series on Xbox.
Oh my god, remember that?
Oh yeah, that was the worst one.
Raw from like the worst one. Oh my god, Raw, and then I can tell you one thing: WrestleMania. I don't know, it was WrestleMania 17 or whatever. I remember the discs were burnt incorrectly, and you had to send back the discs. It was called WrestleMania.
Oh my god, I remember that.
And they had, I remember that. Mail back the discs because they were burnt. They copied them wrong. You had to mail it away and wait for your game to come back. You had to put it in the mail. Holy shit! The Xbox had some, and the Acclaim games back in the day on the original, those were horrible. The wrestling games on Acclaim. Yeah. Attitude.
They did Attitude. Yeah, man.
Those are just so bad.
I remember that.
But PlayStation 2 wrestling, I know SmackDown lived on there, and actually that's what evolved eventually to what we're playing now. Like,
but the shit they did with when they give that shit to 2K, I was like, yo, I would never play a wrestling game again.
I know 2K.
They try to simulate everything. I'm like, no.
What I hate about it is that they do that season pass and they give you the accelerator. Basically, you can unlock the whole game with a press of a button, and you'd have no motive to like play the rest of the game at all. Like they took the campaign out last year, which I liked the story campaign. Yeah, there was no story. They have the universe, which is kind of stupid. It just simulates like you kind of run the universe. But I love the campaign. Like now this year they got Daniel Bryan's campaign. Mm-hmm. The year before I played the Stone Cold one. That was great. With the 2 years ago, the Stone Cold campaign one, and how they added the different campaigns. Those were great. I love playing those story modes. But last year they took it out. It was messed up. So this year they brought it back in with Daniel Bryan, so you'll like as you fight some through his career and stuff like that, you follow his career. This year looks pretty good. But I don't know. 2K is their opinion. They do the
I don't even know how it got so bad that I don't even know how to play it, man. The last greatest wrestling game on the that was available on the Xbox platform is when SmackDown when SmackDown turned into SmackDown versus Raw. And
that was a good one.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh wow, and damn, man, I want. Yeah. Because it's something, the way that they made those games, it just worked. Yes. Like how I felt like it should work. And these games, I feel like they don't play like how they should play.
No, they're all meter based. Like they're all based on meters and stuff. And once you go online with the horrible 2K service and the lag, forget you get pinned. Like you get a body slam, somebody pinned you in the beginning. The lag, you can't even kick out of it. You don't even play it. It's horrible. It's horrible.
The lag is so bad. It's like peer to peer. I don't even know what
it's fucking carrier pigeons or something. I don't know what the hell that shit is. It's horrible. 2K servers. They got the mice running around. They got the same Nintendo.
They got the smoke signals going on.
Yeah,
servers are horrible.
They're using fucking they got the lighthouse, like the flashes. Like, oh yeah, we got. It's horrible, man. It's horrible. They got that Nintendo server stuff going on. The mice running around.
Speaking of Nintendo, any of you guys start or have to switch and Twitch online? How's that compared to
nope. I did not
to do it.
That thing is still in the trash pile, bro.
I am not subscribed to that Nintendo Online.
I'm not interested in that at all. It's really just I'm not interested at all. I just don't. I don't like that. I don't like anything about it.
Let me ask you a question.
Kobe, they do have to
do it for Smash or not?
Nope.
You know what? I played, like I said before, I played the tennis ones, and the online was really bad. Like the peer to peer, their connections were really not that great. And I'm not paying for it yet. And that $20, I'm waiting. Not doing it. I don't give a shit how much it is. It's not like it's expensive. It's just the idea of it. I'm not right now. I just don't think.
I don't care. I don't care about Nintendo
Jesus,
online
TJ.
Because they just can't get some things right. They just can't get some things right. The whole fact of the matter, if you can't even have a mic to talk, I just
might as well play against.
I got a better
anyway,
one.
right?
Pull up anybody in your friends list and tell me how you're gonna reach out to that person.
Yeah, I have no interest in anything they do with their online. I have no interest in it at all.
I know that, and I'm gonna tell you. So, like, what we found out was that the NES Classic games online that you need to check in, right? You got to check in, which Frog was telling me earlier. Like, I don't want to take away his point, but he totally has a point. In fact, that you sell on a mobile console. Frog, I don't know. You want to say it? You want to say it?
Yeah, go ahead. No,
you told me. It's your idea. It's your thing because that was a good idea.
I just don't understand. You're in a mobile console, but they create this online service with this DRM feature, and they push it as this mobile, take anywhere, switch, pick it up from the TV, and I'm like, what's the point of having this online service, this DRM, when you're in a mobile console? When you may go somewhere, you may not have an internet signal. I just don't agree.
The check-in for the NES online.
Cut people off. I say how you do it.
I didn't even see his ass come in.
I didn't even see him come in. What's going on, man?
What up, man?
But it's just I just think the online feature is this. People say it's a work in progress, but I think it's bad from the start. Like even the Xbox, the original Xbox. Even the PlayStation 2, their online was better.
Change. They say it's a work in progress. This is exactly what they wanted.
I don't think it's going to change, and I'm not interested in. I'm interested. I've always been interested in the Nintendo games, but not their systems. I don't like their systems, but I like their games. And that's
their services are just like you're right. This is not going to fix. First of all, if I saw a sign that says that it's sold out, like they sold out of online.
At the end of the day, I'm sorry. Like you guys want to, I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack with this. When that Super Smash Brothers coming out, I'm jumping on. I'm sorry. Like
no, I'm not. I care less.
And look, I've not waited all generation for Super Smash Brothers to not do it because of $20. I'm sorry.
No,
it's not gonna happen.
It's not the price. It better be like lag free and stuff like that. Like they said that they're collecting this money so they could offer dedicated service. I don't know when, but that's what I heard people saying. Like, oh, Nintendo's like they want dedicated service, and if they have that peer-to-peer shit going on,
do they have dedicated service now?
No.
At the end of the day,
they could call Microsoft up.
Yeah, man, to get that cloud going, right?
At the end of the day, you pay for what you want. If you don't want to play they shit online, you don't need it. But if you do want to play it, you got to get it.
But let me tell you this.
You know they're locking those the NES controllers that you can only play with the virtual console games. They're locking those behind the subscription.
You can only buy them if you have an online subscription. You only could buy them. They won't let you buy them.
That's like saying Xbox. You can't buy this grease proof controller unless you got Xbox Live. That's
so messed up, man. So messed up. And you know what else? The craziest thing is that what I was saying with the NES Online was that you only could play against your friends list players. You cannot play against random people.
Yeah, you can't play against random.
No. Yeah. So your friend, it's almost like a separate little console. Like you go into that app and you see who else is in that app with you.
I just don't see how like you've had people do this before you, and you've seen kind of the platform of how to do it, and you just still can't get it right. And it's
they don't care. They don't.
Like they got the blueprint for you.
I said they got them by the balls and they're twisting them. I'm telling you, the people that bought that shit today. They're not playing it for online because there was no real game that came out right now that's online. They're doing it for those fucking NES games.
Yeah, that's
what they're doing it for.
Which I think is another mistake. I think they would make more money by selling those things individually.
They would.
They just sold them on the NES Classic.
So here's the thing: do you want to sell something to you once, or do you want to keep people on a subscription for you?
Right. I get what they're doing. I don't like it at all.
I mean, it's like I said, you guys don't care about the online stuff when it comes. I don't even care about the online stuff when it comes to that. But there's certain of these games that Nintendo makes that, I'm sorry, I'm all in.
Smash Brothers, man.
Super Smash Brothers, I do not. And imagine when Pokemon comes out.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be extremely successful. They're not changing this.
No way. This is not changing.
If this was like, $40 to $60, they would be issues because people are going to look at that and be like, I don't know, man, because you get what you pay for. But $20, most of the people watching this stream has spent $20 in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, I spent $20 on lunch today.
Yeah, exactly, lunch.
I get it.
You buy one of those
anti-consumer as fuck. It needs to be changed. They need to put more modern shit in this. But at the end of the day, they know they got you by the balls because of nostalgia, and they know they're going to get that money anyway. Sooner or later, a lot of these people that are boycotting this shit are going to get this sooner or later because that one game.
Hey, Kevin Garcia in the chat, smooth eating all his kids' snacks and shit.
Yeah, we bought fruit
lunch
roll-ups
for tomorrow.
No, I bought fruit roll-ups. They don't like them. They don't like fruit roll-ups. I see why this shit is difficult.
But you know what's funny? Like, you are ridiculous with this. Now, what it's gonna be is kids gonna start using this as a joke. Like, he's gonna start coming up here eating some like tacos, some burgers. Like, then he's gonna like start eating sushi on stream. It's gonna
order
like,
pizza.
He's had Uber Eats delivered during the podcast, bro. What are you talking
Oh
about?
my god!
I do want to bring something up. I want to talk sooner or later today. I have been seeing a lot of comparison, or well, not really comparisons, but people legitimately blaming Microsoft for Dead Rising 4 and that whole company.
I saw that shit. That was crazy.
I want to talk about that because I think it's completely ridiculous.
Well, we were gonna talk about that as so yeah, let's talk about it. Vancouver. Capcom Vancouver, they are shutting down.
So what's it? He trying to cut out the shapes and shit.
Let's stick them on as a camera.
They shut down Vancouver studio, and Vancouver are responsible for the Dead Rising series. Honestly, that's the only game I know of them making. But I enjoyed the franchise for a lot of the games that they released. I remember me and Addict, we were working on a collab video about studios Microsoft should buy. The one studio we didn't include, but I wanted to include, I said, hey, they should call up Capcom and take over Vancouver studio because Capcom has no use for them anymore. So, but unfortunately,
I don't even think Microsoft considers that anymore because I think that when it comes to that zombie genre, like I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the people, some of the people that worked for Vancouver end up at Undead Labs.
Is it Undead Labs like located in like Seattle?
Some people will move if they have no other options.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's work, it's a job, but yeah, I mean, it's sad because I was like, wow, I'm not gonna get a Dead Rising 5, but the news of this breaking and the Twitter started talking, and Addict obviously it caught our attention because I wasn't on Twitter as much yesterday because I was playing on this beautiful game called Tomb Raider. And I've started to see like a whole lot of Xbox talk and Dead Rising 4 and Addict. I know you're about to go off, but continue on what you were seeing and about Vancouver and Xbox and how their problem.
Dude, I don't know. Like, obviously I'm not going to call him like, a fanboy or anything. Some people might legitimately see that concept. He did bring up the fact that he was like, well, it was only on Xbox for a year, then it came out. Well, look, if it was on PlayStation at all, you can't blame that on Microsoft, first off. Second off, you can't blame a company that I'm pretty sure they funded some of that game. You can't blame a company for that. They only bought exclusivity. Like, if anything, it's their fault for doing it, first off. Second off, Dead Rising 4 was trash, regardless what kids about to say. So I just don't understand how you blame a company for making, an average to a below average game that was not anything better than the predecessors, and then wonder why the game doesn't sell. I've always said this from day one. No, almost every time, if you want games to sell, you make a good game. We've seen countless times over and over again that Capcom over expectation all their games of what they should sell and what is realistic of them selling. Like, there were so many reasons why Dead Rising 4 did bad. And what had
was worse than 3. 3 was pretty good. I thought 3 was good.
I thought 2 and 3 were the best ones. A lot of people like 1.
I love 3. 3 was my favorite.
One was all right.
I think 3 is the best one.
3 was my favorite because I thought the story was cool and they had an amazing post-launch content. Like, those DLCs was just awesome.
And it had co-op.
If they would have had a good quality Dead Rising 4 that wasn't revolved around Christmas, didn't take away Psychopaths, didn't take away, they let you do a lot of stuff that was different. But you know what Psychopaths were called in Dead Rising 4? Fucking maniacs.
Yeah,
they didn't have that like, what I remember at Dead Rising 2? I remember going in that bathroom and I remember seeing that dude cut himself with the fucking the knife, and he just disappears on you and goes in the stalls. I remember fighting the mailman dude. I remember fighting the tiger shit. I can't tell you guys one motherfucker from Dead Rising 4. And I beat it. And
Dead Rising 3 had what? They had the maniac guy on the motorcycle.
Dude, they had the dude in the restaurant.
Yes, the restaurant guy was crazy. Oh my god, yeah, that was
the guy with the penis. Awesome. The guy with the
Smooth. Remember the guy with the penis?
I mean, yeah, not like that, man. Oh shit,
the guy with the penis.
That shouldn't. I couldn't think of another way, but he used like a rocket launch out of his like. Never mind.
Oh my god!
I don't remember.
I mean, Microsoft ain't responsible for the studio closing, though, man.
No, they're not. Capcom didn't know what the hell they were doing.
If your game was fire, it's gonna sell. The end.
I mean, the first they didn't make the first game; they just made the ones after that. But I think their best game they made after that was probably 3.
So they only made Dead Rising. Really that was it. They
made like some MLB big games. They made a couple of games, like a couple of MLB Bigs games or something like that, but they mostly focused on Dead Rising. That was their big thing.
I just
Capcom.
Feel like...
Go ahead.
Oh, you finished, man. I didn't mean to.
And Capcom basically shut them down because there were a lot of projects that Capcom has, and they're trying to save money. You know.
Well, Capcom, that's catering to their Japanese.
Yes, they are.
Studios. That's the funny part. This company was this development team was shut down because Capcom couldn't manage shit. But for some reason, it's Microsoft's fault they had to shut the service. The whole company.
No, I don't agree with that.
Well, at the end of the day. Look at games like if you have even an average product to above average, you're going to do well. Look at games like Dying Light that didn't do well going out the gate, but then once everyone saw the quality of the game and how fun it was, the shit started selling like wildfire. It was crazy. Like if you have a good game, you don't even need to sell it. Your customers are going to sell it for you.
Exactly. Just make good games.
Yep, that's true.
And that's why I always say, and then people are like, obviously I do see this backwards compatibility versus PS Classic thing. Like, and that's, people were going in about that. And I'm like, look, I don't want Microsoft to worry about shit like that. I want them just to focus on making good games. Let's start there.
Yes, but I agree.
Dead Rising 4, maybe I think that IP will come back because a lot of people don't like Dead Rising 4. There's a reason there was 4 of them. A lot of people like Dead Rising. And I do think that IP will come back in some way. Maybe someone will buy it.
No, Capcom still has it, but
I know that's what maybe someone will buy it.
Oh yeah, they made like the Bigs 2. Oh, that was like that arcade. That was like back in 2000.
Yeah, they were under a different name though, weren't they?
Yeah, Blue Castle Games.
Blue Castle Games,
yeah. And they made Dead Rising 2 K0. Remember that? That was that DLC that led into Dead Rising 2. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Dead Rising 2 was good. I like that.
Dead Rising 2 I think was the best. Dead Rising 2.
I didn't like Dead Rising 2 for some reason. I did not like it.
And then they did that bullshit.
I don't like Dead Rising 4 was a fun game to sit there and just kill zombies, but it wasn't Dead Rising. They could have put a completely different name on that game. Everything that made
they couldn't have Frank West in the game.
Yeah,
well, you get what I'm saying. Like everything that made Dead Rising was absent from Dead Rising.
2017, they made Puzzle Fighter for iOS and Android. That was it.
Sometimes
that's what killed them.
Sometimes it's best for companies to get shut down. Maybe one thing I do want to point out is like you could tell that there's a lot of hiring going on because every single studio Microsoft owns now said we're hiring.
Yes, but Coalition's right there, isn't that in Vancouver?
Mm-hmm. Are they in Vancouver? Yeah, okay,
because they were Black Tusk.
I
think some of them are going to end up at Compulsion.
But I have my thing is I think Dead Rising. The reason Dead Rising has and the specific ones, Part 1. I would say Part 3, kind of 2, but Part 1, Part 3. I think the reason they've done well is because if you look at those games, they were kind of also associated within launch windows of consoles. Because Part 1 was associated within the launch window of Microsoft's Xbox 360, and so was Part 3. So I think that's why they did well because they're in that launch window, so people want games to play. Part 2, I think it did okay. And then Part 4, I don't think it did probably very well. But I think the reason they were associated within those launch windows, that's the other reason why maybe 4 didn't sell as well, because this game is associated within launch windows of consoles. So, when you have a game that's in the launch window, it's going to perform better. When you put another game out, it's probably not going to do. You're going to really see if your fans really care about it.
I feel like the best one they did was Dead Rising 2, and that wasn't at a launch window.
No, he's talking about as far as success.
I'm just sorry, as far as the success. I think, 1 sold very well, and so did 3 because they were in that launch window. When it came out, I think within the first couple of months of the 360, and then at the launch of the Xbox One.
When did the 360 launch?
November 2005.
And then Dead Rising came out in 2006.
Spring 2006, or summer 2006.
Within that launch window. So that's why I say, I think the specifically 1 and 3, with you being in that launch window of a console, big exclusive, and the only place you can get it, that's probably why they may have sold better. Maybe they should have waited for their next one to come, some years down the line. But I think they thought, hey, well, 3 did so well. Maybe they didn't even think about, hey, 3 did so well. Because it was in launch.
Dead Rising 4 was so weird, though. Before was so weird, like its launch window in December, and it was just Christmas.
It was a bad place.
Yeah, I didn't like the Christmas theme.
It was launch at like $60 or $40. I thought it was
60.
Yeah, they should have been.
What's funny is when a game's trash is because it was like 30, 2 weeks after it came out.
And it didn't have the co-op. It had this weird multiplayer where you had do mini games.
And that's where the game failed, because they didn't have that co-op, that staple co-op that's made every game besides the first one, because that's when people really started enjoying it. A lot of people liked the mechanics that the first one had, but when you could do it with your friend in the second and third one.
Yeah, the third one I think is the tipping point for me. That's when I really saw Dead Rising become something different. I really like the franchise. Yeah, I didn't get into the Dead Rising franchise.
I played Dead Rising 2 for days after it came out.
But part 3 to me is when I really was like, wow, this is actually kind of cool. I don't know if
it got rid of the cartoony aspect of it, because there was a little more cartoony aspect of it in 2, and then 3 kind of gave a bit more.
3 was really serious tone.
Yeah.
And people were scared that it was serious. Like, oh my god, it's not Dead Rising, and I think it
still had the goofy stuff in it. Yeah, it
had goofy stuff, but it was more in the serious tone. I think I like that a little bit more.
It was cool because there was all the survival, the combination weapons, all the crazy stuff, and then you could combine it with vehicles. I thought that was it was really cool. There was vehicles.
At the end of the day, this Dead Rising was cool. But it's not it wasn't one of those titles that's essential.
No.
People are gonna miss Dead Rising, but ain't nobody gonna care.
No, I agree. I agree.
Well, Capcom screwed Lost Planet. Remember that? That was
that's something they could have.
That was Lost Planet 1, Lost Planet 2. 2 was great. 3 went an AWOL.
Messed it up.
I don't know what the hell it went with AWOL with 3.
I always thought that Microsoft, I think I've said this before, should buy the Army of 2 license and have Coalition make an Army of 2.
I would like to see that.
Lost Planet.
That's a hell of an idea. I like that. I like that.
I think Army of 2.
You can make it just 2 people, and you put that gore from Gears.
Yep.
In the Army of 2, that game's going to be a seller.
Yeah. I think it just had the wrong publisher under it. I think it needs to be released from EA. EA doesn't know what to do with a lot of their properties.
I think the thing is that Capcom
needs to stay exactly where
Capcom was lost, and now they got about 2 years now of hitters with Resident Evil and Monster Hunter. Having and now they got Resident Evil 3 remastered. That's going to carry them probably all through next year.
Resident Evil 2.
Look how they fucked up Marvel versus Capcom. That too, they messed up.
I feel like Capcom was at that point that they were like, let's just have everyone make anything, see what sticks, and if they don't, we're closing down. And then when Monster Hunter took off the way it did, and then they got all that hype for Resident Evil 2, they're like, yo, we actually might be a company. Let's start cutting losses now.
Yeah. I think they saw some of the money and saw some of the success in those games, and now they got Resident Evil 2 next year. But look what they did with Marvel vs. Capcom, man. That was a travesty, that game. They oh my goodness, I can't believe that they took the third one, which was incredible.
I don't even think that game was that evil, was it?
No. With the Power Stones.
Hold up, did I ever say Microsoft should buy Dead Rising? So it's Ravenflow said Microsoft won't buy it if it doesn't make more than $3 million. I never said for them to buy it.
Microsoft's not buying it. Microsoft's gonna buy a little.
Yeah, what do you keep saying no Addict for? You got to tell me, man. Capcom restructured for profit. Do you?
Well, they lost $7 million or something like that.
Hey, Ravenflow, where's the link? Show me where someone in the company said that. That's why.
They did say that. They did say they restructured for profitability because
that's PR talk.
It saved them $40 million.
$40 million. Wait a second. They lost $70 million.
I'm thinking about Army of Two. Oh, he's talking about Army of Two.
They just lost $40 million. Losses of $40 million.
What did Army of One and Two? The first. Actually, there was 3 Army of Twos, but no one knows about the third one. But what did the first 2 did really well actually. Mm-hmm. I think if you showed Army of Two with that gore and that that eye candy that the Gears formula has now, and you put that in the Army of Two formula, I think that would sell.
Yeah.
Which one was Army of Two? Was it the second one, or the first one that had you fighting during a hurricane?
That was wait, that was the Army of Two. That was one in when you were in
Part
Asia.
2. There was one mission that was through a hurricane. That was
because there were big buildings and everything. You had
that was pretty cool. I remember that you fight through a hurricane. Like I was thinking,
Part 3 had an interesting concept of what they were doing, but I mean they can go somewhere with that franchise. But I don't know if they just want to reboot it from the beginning or start where they left off in Part 3.
Yeah, but it's still with EA though. Yeah,
I just don't think they know what to do.
You gotta get this shit together.
I think if Respawn fucks up with this Star Wars game, I think they're done.
I agree. Yep, I totally agree. Yeah,
I think so. I think that what's going to happen, because they sold themselves to EA. They dumb, but they did. They sold their company to EA. That is owned by EA, and I feel like first off, what they're known for, what really got them popping was a first-person shooter. They don't want nothing competing with Battlefield.
Yeah, cool, man. Orange and Access Premiere. I'm ready. Day one.
But you also got to remember, like the guys from Respawn and a lot of guys at Activision, a lot of those Call of Duty devs were originally Medal of Honor devs. So they started at EA and then they made their way over to Activision. And all they're doing is flip flopping. They're going back and forth to companies. Like the original guys that are at Respawn, like these guys were making Medal of Honor, and then. They're flip-flopping back because, Battlefield was Medal of Honor killer. Like, they always have, like, this killer and that killer. And then, Call of Duty came out, and Call of Duty was actually, the actual Medal of Honor Battlefield killer. Like, that's what really hurt, EA in the long run was Call of Duty because they said, hey, we're going to make a game. They pitched that idea at EA back in the day, said, hey, we want to do this multiplayer, blah, blah, blah. No, we don't want that. So they went over to Activision and said, we're going to make – and that was the name of the title. The code name for the title of Call of Duty was the Battlefield Killer, the Medal of Honor Killer. Like, they planned to go in there and wipe up – because, Medal of Honor back in the day was known for being a great game that told a great story.
It was the shit.
Yeah. Dude. But once Call of Duty came out, and then it just kind of – Medal of Honor said, bloop, and it flew off a cliff.
It's because, like, Call of Duty at its prime, there's nothing that could have stopped it. Like, Call of Duty still was the number one sold thing, but Call of Duty had that Fortnite effect for years.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it was all because of those streaks.
And I think it's about to have it again.
The progression and the kill streaks, progression and kill streaks was something that it added that changed.
Because you were always being you was always being rewarded for shit.
Yes. Yep. That resolution.
Even if you sucked, you still got emblems.
Yes. Yep. It was the first time this online progression, because otherwise you were just doing online for scoreboards and stuff. You really weren't getting anything. And then, Rainbow Six, like the original Rainbow Six, like you were just getting the stats. Now you're actually getting unlocks and stuff like that progression. And then the kill streaks on top of that was something else too. That was something different where your performance actually affects the gameplay. And it's not by kills and deaths. It's actually you get like perks and features and stuff. Yeah. I didn't say the thing about Zampella though is he definitely knows how to add some sort of twist or something to a single, like a first person shooter, that like what he did with Titanfall and what they did with progression in Call of Duty. Like, I think that guy in his studio really have some sort of refreshing aspect. Like, I'm ashamed that Titanfall just fell off the face.
Honestly,
it's a shame because think of this on with that.
Honestly, think if EA would have 100% backed Titanfall and wanted it to grow, I think that could eventually be just as big, if not bigger, than Battlefield.
I agree. They could have done so much more with that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like they bought the company because low key they wanted to not to be an issue. They don't want that company, that Titanfall, to take away from Battlefield. So they offered to publish for it. That way they could control the narrative.
Yeah,
I agree.
And Titanfall wasn't using the Frostbite engine either, so like they were
using the Source engine, right?
The Source engine,
they were using.
Titanfall 2 was besides some of the multiplayer choices, I thought Titanfall 2 was an improvement on every section than Titanfall 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
bro. Titanfall 2, those controls were tight. Man.
Yeah, they were real nice.
Gameplay.
It was great, man. It's a shame that game was sandwiched between COD and Battlefield.
Oh,
it's because they wanted that narrative. They wanted it to soften the blow for Call of Duty, and they knew people would still buy Battlefield.
Honestly, Titanfall 2 is better than the Call of Duty multiplayer. I mean, the regular multiplayer. I thought it was. I thought it was the superior game.
They had the jetpacks and stuff like that makes sense because it just seems Call of Duty, the flying and floating and the wall running, it just seems it's too tight for that kind of craziness.
You know what? Ravenflow just made a good point. I bet you they sabotaged that game intentionally so they could buy them later.
Yeah.
Oh shit, maybe.
Because at first they said they wanted their independent, but when Titanfall 2 bombed the way it did, they had to sell.
Yeah. Because that's when they sold the game. Respawn sold after Titanfall 2 release, right?
Well, they bought them, right? They bought Respawn. Did they?
They're under. I think Respawn is still separate, but I think they own them now. The first Titanfall they weren't, but I think EA actually
actually owns Titanfall now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
they own the whole brand.
They own it. They bought it.
Yeah.
They had first rights of refusal. EA did.
Oh, they'll bring it back. They'll bring it back.
I hope they do, man. I hope they do.
So that Star Wars game that Impel Studios is making, is it a first person or is it a third?
Who knows? It's
a single player, right? It's not multiplayer.
Yeah. Hey, I hope it's Star Wars 1313, and we just don't know it.
I don't think it is.
Respawn, right? It's Respawn.
I don't think it is. I think it's a first-person shooter.
Like Republic, what was that? Republic Commando. That was good.
I just want something good.
Those squad-based shooters.
I honestly think that they would be better off making them make Battlefront, because I honestly feel like putting all that pressure on I keep forgetting. I don't know why I just forgot the name of the people who make Battlefield.
Dice.
I feel like having them make Battlefield and Battlefront simultaneously hurts both of those brands.
Yeah, I think they need to.
I think if they let Respawn make Battlefront, I feel like Battlefront and Battlefield would be better games than overall.
Yeah, and I saw Merc put Blackout. So did everybody play Blackout? Now that we're talking like,
what
do you think about it? I know myself and Frog talked it all up last week. What did you guys think?
I mean, it is so okay. So I played it specifically on PC, to be honest, right? Man, and look, I you guys know I spent a considerable amount of time in Fortnite and in PUBG.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's Jez, you actually hit it on the head with like it's got that COD. It kind of feels weird running through this humongous map, but it's still Call of Duty.
I know, yeah. Right.
But man, like they pulled it off so well, in my opinion. They pulled it off so well. Like in my opinion, I mean, it's a wrap for PUBG, and I think it's a wrap for Fortnite too. Maybe not completely Fortnite, because Fortnite at the end of the day is a free game,
right?
But
I think it's going to create another branch of battle royale guys. Like the kids, I think are still going to play Fortnite, but I think this is going to create another group. It might affect more PUBG.
You saw who was streaming it, right? Ninja
was streaming,
and he already alluded to the fact that once that comes out, he's going to start streaming that.
The shooting is so tight.
What's funny?
It's so good, man.
You know what's funny? I saw a post where someone actually went. It was an indie developer that was looking to get people to stream their game. You know what the average cost for really big streamers is?
What is it?
$30,000 an hour.
Holy shit!
Wow. And I'm not talking about your average streamer. I'm talking like Ninja style. Like, I guarantee you, they walked up in there and was like, "Yo, how much?" Because anything Ninja streams right now is selling.
Yeah. He was on like the cover of ESPN magazine or something.
First gamer.
Yeah, man.
Ninja's doing a lot for the community.
Ninja's
regardless
crushing
if you
it
like
right
him,
now.
he's doing a lot for this community.
Sorry for the brief interruption, but I found the final tomb in Tomb Raider. So
okay.
So why did you have to tell us that shit?
Because I did it on stream, and it's pretty awesome. I can't wait to finish the freaking like game. Like it's like I want to go back. Shout out to Showstopper 2121 who's in the chat. Showstopper, what's up? The legendary Showstopper. How are you doing?
What's up, man?
Hey, what up, Showstopper?
Showstopper ignores me.
Hey, the Nightbot, your Nightbot's going crazy again, bro.
I don't have a Nightbot, so that's
yes, you do. It's his Nightbot. R.I.P. Ninja Theory.
I think that's a fake, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hold up, let's see. You took your Nightbot down?
Yep.
Yeah, because it was doing crazy. It was like timing people out.
But yeah, so Merc, like, do you feel like with the equipment and the weapons, like it just works, right?
It works.
It works.
Now I'm gonna tell you this one thing that I like. And I was streaming on PC, you know, I just did just one stream. And I gotta tell you, like, if you don't find armor, it's over.
You're dead.
It's over for you, dude.
Yep.
Bro, I literally hit somebody point blank. Like I unloaded like half a clip.
It takes a long time with the
shot me twice and they killed me.
The thing I don't like about it is that melee doesn't freaking work.
Melee sucks, man.
Punched this dude in the head 6 times, and he was able to pick up his gun, turn around, miss me a bunch of times, and finally hit me.
Yeah,
but I was punching him the whole time.
You got to weaken somebody down to melee him.
Yeah, I like the fact that there's an abundance of weapons everywhere. It's not like you got to go on a mission like how you do in PUBG sometimes, right? I like that. It's just
what about the helicopter? Having a helicopter
that's actually pretty cool.
And flying around and dropping and just picking up stuff, getting on my helicopter.
I saw somebody shoot like a rocket.
Yes, man. Yeah.
I saw PG get shot out of a helicopter when he was
did he? I didn't.
That crap was hilarious. Yeah. He was in a helicopter. He's like, we're blue. I was like, oh.
And Merc, did you run into the zombies like on the map?
All right. So it's funny you brought that up because I had that on my mind that I wanted to mention that. I had no idea that there was zombies. And I think it was in Nuketown, right?
They're in 2 places. Nuketown and Asylum.
And the Asylum.
Okay. So I come down, right? I land in Nuketown. Bro, and the sound is very well put together in this game.
The sound is incredible, yeah.
And you start hearing like the sound of the zombies coming in. Bro, I freaked out. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. I was like, who are these guys? And then they dropped like loot for me and stuff like that.
And they'll kill you quick.
Yeah,
they
man.
will kill you quick.
Yeah. I mean, I found it to be like, I guess, an evolution of what Battle Royale is, because I'm convinced Battle Royale is not going anywhere. You know what I mean? I think Battle Royale is here to stay.
It's going to get thrown, like just like World War II games.
I am personally done with it. Like, I played 2 matches of it. It's cool. I think it's really unique that, Royale, they didn't just copy it. They did fine-tune it. That is a Call of Duty Battle Royale.
Yeah, it's well put together, though. It's very well put together. I think one of the coolest
aspects is they put the perks in it, they put the zombies in it, they got the characters as operators.
Yep.
They have the actual map locations is maps from Call of Duty.
I know.
So, I feel like that game resonates more to me on a personal level than any of the other ones do.
Yeah, I agree.
And you know what? They already said that the map is going to evolve similar to how Fortnite does it.
I'm sure
because I know that on the map there's zombies, but you can if lightning strikes really hard in certain places, there's a huge zombie that will come. And you can get the zombie the new the zombie mode, the boxes. You get those. Like I was in some room and it was near the asylum. There was a boxing ring and a zombie box just appeared and it started doing the little thing with the bear, the little music, and it just started cycling through weapons and I had to pick a weapon real quick. And I was like, please get the ray gun, because I got shot with it. But yeah, I see this game changing consistently.
Oh yeah, like I'm pumped for it. That's what I get really.
When I played Blackout, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was already, obviously, guys know I was gonna buy the game, but I mean, my hype level definitely elevated substantially. After I played Blackout.
I wasn't like when I played the multiplayer beta. I was like, oh yeah, it's Call of Duty. Like I did like how they added some of the the base building mechanics where you could kind of lock yourself down with the equipment stuff. I did like that aspect. They give it a little bit more team focus rather than just lone wolfing it and trying to get kills. But it still was Call of Duty. But when you add that stuff, those equipment things, and the battle royale mode, it is completely refreshing. Like I'm like, oh man, like this is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I tried out the I thought the battle royale was cool. I like the way it played. It felt good. I was like, okay, this is a battle royale mode I can actually get with.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's just like now I think about it, I'm like, do I buy this because I have somewhat interest into this battle royale mode? Like, because I the first beta I did not like.
Yeah.
At all. Like,
I know. Same. There's Call of Duty, and then the other thing is the zombies. Where the zombies now, there's supposedly a campaign with it. I'm not a huge fan of the zombies mode. I don't like how they have it where I don't feel like I'm hitting the zombies well. Like I don't know what Call of Duty does with the zombies mode, but when you get that first pistol, it seems like you're hitting air. Like you don't have a good detection when you're hitting it. And I'm just wasn't a huge fan of zombies mode, but it sounds like that they have a campaign and a story with the zombies, almost like Left 4 Dead-ish. If they could go kind of that route with it, that might be pretty cool. Like almost like Left 4 Dead type.
Am I the only one that doesn't care about zombies?
No,
I'm not a huge zombie person either. I'm not a huge zombie person.
I've never seen what the draw for it is.
I always play Call of Duty really big into some zombies.
Yeah, I'm not a zombies guy.
Yeah. But if they could add like a kind of a campaign to it, maybe a story to it. I know they tried to like in the past, but I just felt like it was just one big map that was locked and you just unlock different rooms and stuff. But
what's funny is I feel like zombies really pushed that horde mode further too. Like
they took it around with it.
I feel like between Gears and Black Ops, well, I think it was Treyarch that really pushed it. Gears and Treyarch, like hordes, like doubled in how many horde games came out.
Gears of War started it. Griffey B announced it with Gears 2. Like,
there was another thing about Blackout. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but they had a mode that was like they only have like SMGs and pistols.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
That was pretty cool.
So in other words, there's no snipers on the map, which forces like close combat.
And it's fast circle too. And it's a fast circle.
And it's a fast circle, and it increases the pace of the game like substantially.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was like, man, you know what? That was a hell of an idea. I wish they would have done that like on PUBG, for example. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes it really fast, and also too, you could run around and not worry about people like sitting in the cliffs and shooting at you.
Correct,
because you don't have those long things. So it's more, that's pretty cool. I did like that. And then I think they added 100 people like right before they shut it off.
They did.
Added to 100.
They did. They upped it to 100. I didn't get a chance to play it.
Yeah, me neither. It was like in the middle of the day.
Yeah, they got up to 110 in development, and they said it ran okay. So I think 100 is good. If they can go above that, as long as the game runs fine. Somebody bought up PUBG. Speaking of PUBG. Some interesting
downgrade.
There's been some interesting news about PUBG all over Twitter today and like the last week. You know, with the whole they're trying to optimize the game to run better, which I think is good. But you know, I heard somebody in a podcast say something I thought like, look, this game I think on the X, I want to say it's running 4K. Why not just say 1440p? 60 frames, like this
100% agree.
Yeah, get this game. Stop worrying about the resolution. Get this game running smooth. You know, 720p, 60 frames on the regular Xbox. Like, get it running smooth. You know, because I think that's the biggest problem. Like, it's not optimized well. And then the other big news, it's about to. The rumor is, and it hasn't totally been confirmed, but it's kind of been confirmed that it's going to be released at the end of this year everywhere in a sense, almost everywhere in a sense.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't think that with all the big battle royale games, you know, Battlefield's going to have a battle royale, Call of Duty. Even if it gets released wherever else, I still think it's like
I think it's a wrap for PUBG.
I think it needed legs at the beginning hard, and the legs aren't hard enough. I think it's just going to tank downhill. And these other big
PUBG killed itself, man. They killed themselves, man. They never they weren't able to keep. I mean, come on, man. It took them a whole year like to come up with another map. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah. The problem with PUBG,
and I'm saying on PC specifically on PC.
Yeah. The problem with PUBG is they can't react to anything. Like here's the thing, like the moment that shit started happening with Epic, because I don't even know if they can legally talk to them about their engine anymore because of that lawsuit. So like they should have like put all hands on deck. If they had to outsource whatever, they should have remade that game on another entire engine.
Yeah,
something that was easier
and it's not,
to
and it's not like
to.
they didn't have the money. It's not like they didn't have the money.
Something that's easily adaptable that they could, be a lot better off when it comes to. We need to do this. We need to do that, and we need to make it. I don't even know what the word I'm looking for. They can't. One of the reasons that Fortnite is doing so well is because they're one of the few companies I know that could change something in an instant.
Yeah, well, they got that engine there. It's their engine.
Yeah, so, literally the weekend after, they're like, "Oh, this is broke," and then it's like Epic looks, okay, yeah, they got complete concrete evidence.
Yes,
this is broke. It's fixed 3 days later.
Yeah, I mean they have the staff as their engine. Like they're a lot bigger than PUBG Corp. And Bluehole.
All right, so PUBG, I didn't know. So it's supposed to be launching this winter on PlayStation.
PlayStation 4, yes. Okay. I think it's probably going to get a launch, or you're going to hear a launch date in the next. I would say by the end of this month, you hear a launch date.
Okay, my take on that is I think it's stupid. Because I've just been saying this. It's not that I care to play it there or not, or that I don't think PlayStation users should have it. I just think it's dumb for.
I think they're gonna get slaughtered
Microsoft
with Blackout.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'll still probably pick up some steam. But when you think about, you got Fortnite that they already gravitated to Fortnite, the H1Z1 who has been successful, and then now you got Black Ops.
I think
coming and Battlefield
and Battlefield. I think
and Red Dead if they throw in their thing.
But I just don't understand. Go ahead, Addict.
I think their best point right now is to stick to what they're doing with Steam and Xbox, build that community up. Because if they bring up another platform in the mix or another two platforms in the mix, it's going to be twice as hard to keep up with the competition.
Yeah, my thing is I think it's dumb for Xbox because all this stupid pro cross promotion with that damn game is they treated this game over the last year like
an exclusive.
Yeah, but like a premiere exclusive, not just an exclusive.
Yeah, it was a preview game in bundles,
like a premiere exclusive, bundling, fucking coffee shops, care packages.
There's X's on the shelf that have the game bundle with it right now.
Yeah, at PAX we got what's his name? Deadmau5 was playing it. We got all
it was just
they're so promoted by it.
Why? It's I was like, all that marketing you're gonna do for this damn game, that shit better not go anywhere else. You know what I mean? Unless you say so. What the fuck?
If it happens, it happens.
Now, the only one thing I'm interested in, all right? Because I'm sick and tired of everybody making fun of the Xbox. I want to see if this game runs very well on a PlayStation 4.
And if it does, the sad thing is, I'm gonna tell you the sad thing is. So this is the funniest thing I thought about. I said it would be so funny if they said, "Oh, we'll just run it on the Pro at 1080p 60," because it seems like a lot of these developers would be like, "We'll just run it here because we can just put it here on because think about Fortnite."
But the thing is,
Microsoft's not going to allow it.
Bottleneck. It's not a GPU bottleneck. I think that's why everybody's.
That's what Major Nelson's visit to Korea was.
What I'm saying is, I don't think they'll even push it for 4K since they know, on the X. I think they'll just say, "Look, we just need it running as best we can. Try to get it 60 frames locked, and if they can get it at 1080p 60, I think people will have it more enjoyable."
I don't think they do that though.
I wouldn't put it past.
I think that's low key impossible for them to do.
It's not a GPU bottleneck that's keeping it from 60 frames per second, bro. It's on PlayStation. The PlayStation can run PUBG at 4K. I know. It's not a resolution problem.
My Apple Watch can run that game at 4K. I'm just saying, I just don't see. I think they need to make that game run well, just to get safe kind of face. But like you said, if it runs better on PlayStation and Xbox, it's kind of fun. It would be a funny thing, but it's wow. Why haven't you got this game to run well on the platform it's been on for, the console's been on for so long? I think they just need to drop resolution and they need to optimize the game.
Then why don't they drop the resolution as one of their downgrades instead?
Because it's not a GPU bottleneck.
No, but they keep it at 4K and they drop assets.
I don't think the reason it's not going to happen is because I think once you build a game towards that kind of, resolution point that, you can put other figures in there because, some people have, they'll have, code and source code that is pretty much the whole game. And they, that's what they alter to port it to another console.
Mm-hmm.
I think this game is built like the way it's built on console, and I think that's support you're going to get on PlayStation. I feel like if they wanted to make it like that, they would have to rebuild the entire game on PlayStation. I don't think they're going to do that.
What happens if they run it at a low resolution on the PlayStation, but it runs better?
I don't think they're going to do that.
Like, I'm just saying, like, why does Microsoft drop the 4K?
Because I don't think it's easy. I don't think it's that simple.
Microsoft is making them do the 4K. Like that's what people.
I know. I don't think
it's Microsoft saying here it's 4K or nothing, because otherwise every game would be literally.
Look at the items though they have in the downgrade. It's like, well, you're removing shadows and this and that. Dude, why wouldn't you just download the resolution?
Because they don't know what the problem is. That's why they're removing.
I think it's the game in general. I think the game in general. They're stripping everything back
just to identify the problem.
See, look, what people don't.
What did they do in preview for a year? I don't understand.
Here's the thing: what people don't realize is they're running this still on Epic's engine. They can't contact Epic anymore. Like,
yeah, it is what it is.
They are edited. They have to switch engines, or the game's dead, gone.
Well, then they're done. They got to redo it.
Why can't they
rebuild the game from scratch?
Why do you think Blackout?
He's saying because they sue them.
You saw they have that fixed PUBG site now.
Yeah, and that was for PC.
They have that fixed PUBG where you could go on there and you could say what's wrong, but it's not like
it's not like anything's going to change overnight.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I mean, on PC the game runs pretty well, man. To be honest with you, I mean, I don't have many complaints about it on PC. I could maybe say the hit detection sometimes is a little bit awkward, but yeah, man. I mean, honestly, like the fact that Microsoft is pushing like 4K on the console, I don't know if it's a GPU or CPU bottleneck or not on the console, but that game at 30 frames is just hard to play on console, man.
But at the end of the day, this company, regardless what you feel about PUBG, they were kind of done wrong. They were
Microsoft rushed it too.
No, it's not even that. Like they were done wrong by Epic.
How are they done wrong?
They brought Epic people over there to help optimize the game and make the game, and those same employees made Fortnite. Like,
so what would you say? H1Z1 was done wrong.
They added a mode to Fortnite.
They did it.
They literally had someone come over there. No, let's be real here, Frog. It would have been different if it was like a little couple things similar. They literally have the exact same mode that you look in before you load in. They replaced the plane with a bus. Like they literally, like I'm sorry.
The building though.
But what I'm asking is because I look and say PUBG blew up real quick, but before that there were games before that they ripped off. So should I feel sorry for those? I don't feel sorry.
But at the end of the day, what it is. The company that made the engine didn't do it.
No, I mean, but it's competition, They
went out there. I can't blame them for
that. I honestly think that there was some kind of
just handed out a do not compete clause.
Well, no, here's the thing though. There's a lot of these when you use these kind of engines and shit. If you look in their terms of agreement, there's countless cases of people working on outside projects at their work. And their work stole their ideal because it's in the terms and conditions.
Right. And I'm not saying they haven't stolen, but I don't feel sorry for them.
I think that was slimy. I think Epic was some slimy dickheads that did that shit because they could. And I'm sorry. I don't.
The thing is that if Epic did that stuff, but the thing is a year ago, we were saying when Fortnite was announced and they were adding this PUBG mode to it, PUBG was like it was flowing, man. It was taking over, right? But Epic then releases Fortnite, and now a year later, it is totally flip-flopped and demolished PUBG. What happened in that year? That PUBG, it wasn't this Epic thing. It was PUBG owned it before Fortnite came in. Fortnite just started like in October of last year, September of last year. And I remember everybody going like, that's a cartoon mode. Nobody's going to play that shit. Fortnite was irrelevant. And now, it's the next thing. Kids are dancing in the streets.
Epic made Fortnite. The game flopped. And they took what they learned from when they were helping with that optimization. And they put the Fortnite, the building shit in it. But let's not be real. They jacked the entire idea from them. They jacked the bus. They jacked almost everything about the game but built.
But that's not the reason why it fell, though.
And somebody in the chat said the same thing I was saying.
Because at the end of the day, you can't compete someone when they're using the engine that they made. You're outsourcing their engine. You can't compete with the people making the same product using their engine.
Day one, DayZ, or some shit like that. It was
right. It was DayZ,
Counter-Strike, and
H1Z1, and
Half-Life.
Rust. Like it all inspired PUBG.
That's from Rust. Yeah.
So
okay, but
I can look at Fortnite and say, well, Fortnite was inspired by PUBG. Like, so I don't feel sorry for them. It's
oh my god!
But they took it off of the fucking DayZ. There was a mod.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for them. It is what it is.
Or Rust, or whatever the hell it is.
They just got to get in the studios and they got to grind harder.
No, I think they just need to trust. They just need to be more keen on who they trust.
Epic was what I would say. Epic was kind of sleazy in the fact that Fortnite had nothing to do with that battle royale
that you could possibly do.
But they saw the success in it.
It would have been different. It would have been different if Fortnite battle royale happened first.
Yeah, but Fortnite had nothing to do with battle royale.
Specifically added on to from what they were learning when they were helping them make PUBG.
Hey, you want to hear? A lot of people love to say PUBG's dying, right?
It's not dying on PC though.
On PC, it's definitely not dying. The 24-hour.
Well, where's it dying? Because Xbox every time they announce PUBG on Xbox, they tell you how many more million players.
Yeah.
I mean, the game is still doing well, but like, look, they haven't had competition in this. They have had competition when it comes to Fortnite, because but that's where the casuals went. They still had the hardcore market. I think this Blackout is going to take a lot of that market.
You know what, though, man? A lot of people associate Fortnite with casual, and I'm going to be honest with you.
No, that's a very high learning curve game.
The learning curve of that game is definitely not casual.
Yeah, but it's the learning curve. It's in casual. There's still a lot of casuals in that game.
In fact, I'll take it a step further. I'll tell you, playing PUBG is easier than playing Fortnite.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that building is insane.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
I definitely agree with that.
I think that the learning curve is a big learning curve when it comes to the building. But once you learn that, you can't crouch. You can't get sniped on the other side of the map by a prone dude halfway across the map. Like, there's a reason that you can't even prone in Fortnite.
No, you can't prone in Fortnite. No. It's different. It's a different take.
Fortnite, as hard as it is,
serious. Like the building makes shit serious.
And know what they got? They got those Minecraft people over. The kids are playing. Everybody's playing Fortnite. They got them from 6-year-olds all the way up.
Yep.
Look,
they got 6-year-olds are not playing PUBG.
When you square up when you play Fortnite against a group of dudes that know what they're doing.
You get tore up.
You get tore up. If you look at the Minecraft crowd, you take Minecraft crowd in addition, and you add those type. That's who's playing Fortnite too.
Yeah,
they got that crowd too.
Check this out. This is the 24-hour peak on Steam for PUBG. 986,605. Almost a million players, man.
It's crazy. It's like.
Now the PC one,
And the thing is, what I don't like it when people start talking about PUBG. Oh, it's Xbox fault. It's Xbox fault. Oh, every time somebody do business with Xbox, it's like, come on, this is like ridiculous.
I think Microsoft pushed it too early. Now.
They needed that push.
It was in preview, dude.
Microsoft literally flew
build first.
Microsoft flew an entire team out there to help them make it.
Well, they didn't do a good job because it's still broken.
It's the preview.
I do agree because we talked.
Microsoft had to let the game grow a little bit. They bundled that shit as soon as it released preview edition.
I mean, that's because PUBG was the hardest thing they had. They had nothing else. They
had nothing at launch.
It was a preview game.
Okay, your point. You could keep saying preview over and over again. It didn't take away the fact that people still.
Do you think
the wrestling game you're playing now is a preview game, wasn't it?
No, it released on PlayStation, but it was.
Steam fucking Ark was in preview for like a year and a half, and it
wasn't bundled with the console.
You know what though? Look, at the end of the day,
it wasn't bundled with the console though, and marketed on the box.
My issue with these preview things is, yes, it was sleazy. They didn't have the hour or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, the trial, please. I've been talking about a year. Still doesn't.
You have no right if you buy PUBG or anything else in that shitty ass program. You have no reason, no right to bitch about it. If you give constructive criticism on the shit that you're having issues with, that's a different thing. But if you bitch about buying a preview thing when they say you 3 times that this is a work in progress, that is your fault. You take that out.
All right. So when they stamp it on the front of the Xbox S, like last year,
it says preview. It says preview on the box.
Preview edition.
Preview
edition.
It says preview on the box.
Man. They sold like 8 or 9 million copies.
It's a little
misleading. Wait a second. So it's a preview edition. Wait, and then we have it in preview edition, and now it gets released on September 4th. And then they announced that they're downgrading it now to get it to run better. What the fuck were they doing when it was in preview edition?
Now,
I'm
when
not
it's
a
released,
developer. Are you a developer?
all I can tell you right now, that's
they're
gonna
temporary. They're making temporary downgrades.
I mean, are you a developer?
these are
Are
like
you helping them make PUBG?
Dude,
Is that
they
why you
had
missed some Planet Xboxes?
They had 19 updates to that fucking game, and not one of them they go, "Yo, let's temporary downgrade this to get it to run." What the fuck? Like they wait for it to come out and release a public and have a physical copy.
Then don't buy the game.
I did it.
Then stop.
But Microsoft shoved that shit down our throats. Aaron Greenwood.
They technically didn't shove it down your throat. You didn't even buy it.
I can't even eat a fucking chicken dinner now without seeing Aaron Greenwood's face.
So Microsoft can't promote shit now. Is that what you're saying?
I think they could. I think they promoting it is okay, but I think the promotion is a little misleading because you had a lot of people.
How is it misleading? It's not like they didn't have preview program in the fucking description.
Hold on. I'm explaining to you because, like you said, the majority of people who are playing these games. But the majority of people, these casuals, a lot of casuals play games. We know the casual runs the market. So when a casual hears about PUBG, mommy, I want PUBG. They don't think about preview or this or that. They just go out there and they get whatever and they play.
Then that's their fault. For not being educated.
Shame on that customer.
I agree, but I think I think PUBG. Like I said,
but I just want to know what you mean by it's misleading when they actually have on the description of the box preview program.
It's misleading.
You mean to tell me Bob?
It didn't say on the box.
I said preview edition. It says preview on the little description.
It didn't say buy this game at risk. It might not fucking work.
No, it says game preview. Why can't Bob? Let's say Tommy. Motherfucker's name's Tommy. Why can't Tommy's mom ask, "Yo, what's this mean game preview?"
Because Tommy's mom doesn't think about it. She doesn't play
games. Then that's Tommy's mom's problem.
Sounds like I'm special.
But it's misleading. Just like when you see a tweet and it says play 500 classic Xbox.
The game was not ready for prime time
on your Xbox game.
It's not in prime time.
Isn't that misleading?
It was on fucking consoles all last year.
They bundled it. Get over it. It was bundled with the game. It was the biggest game they have.
It was not ready for prime time. It was not should have been bundled.
We all know that.
No,
you're gonna take a $500 console,
hold on.
It would have been world and do a game that does sub 30 frames a second.
It would have been different. It would have been different if it hadn't have game preview on that box, and they made you think it was a full retail game that had no issues whatsoever. But the fact they put game preview on that shit, there was no misleading.
How many casuals know what game preview means?
Why is it our fault that casuals don't know what the shit is?
I'm just saying, how many casuals do you think really know what game preview is? They don't. All they know is they when they go to look.
Point?
My point is, how many times have you been to a GameStop or any game store and they just tell you something and just tell you they don't even know half the time what it is?
You think the game that's getting bundled with your console is going to be a good a retail game, not no preview game?
But I'm not going to even argue with you guys.
I'm just saying it's misleading.
Microsoft pushed that game out too early. They should have let it grow, let it develop, and then maybe stop bundling it. They threw it in a bundle as soon as the thing came into preview program, and it wasn't ready. It was a work in progress. That's not a game that you bundle with your Premier console or with your S, nonetheless.
What else are they going to bundle? What else are they going to bundle?
They could bundle tons of other games.
What else?
All the third-party games that they're doing this year.
They did bundle third parties.
No, they didn't. They had a PUBG bundle. That was the S bundle from November, October until early this year.
They didn't have a Forza bundle.
No. It was PUBG bundles. The S was bundled. There was a PUBG bundle, and then there was a Game Pass bundle.
There was more than one bundle last year, Jazz. Let's look, though.
It might have been. Was there a Shadow of War bundle? I think
there was an Assassin's Creed Odyssey bundle.
Yeah, Odyssey, Shadow of War.
No, you're talking about last year.
Shadow of War, Odyssey bundle, and PUBG. But PUBG one came out after them because PUBG came out in November, right?
Wait, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I thought that was this year's game. You mean
Origins?
Origins. Yeah, there was an Origins bundle. That's right. That was right.
And there was also
Minecraft one. Games, the Minecraft one, that was the custom one. But then after that, and then they did the PUBG bundle with the X. That was recently.
Yeah, the PUBG bundle with the X
over the summer, springtime. And then they also gave you PUBG for free. They gave you PUBG when you bought an X. That wasn't a bundle, but they gave the game for. They gave the game with the purchase.
I can't really think of another game that's been bundled with the X. Now that I think about it,
it was PUBG. PUBG's always been bundled with the X.
I think it's been.
I'm told now.
Well, because the big, at the time, I think they pushed that game.
I understand that it had no notoriety. Yes,
right.
and it sold a lot. I understand that, but Microsoft That game was in preview. That game did not have a trial like all the other preview games have, and that game was not ready for prime time. It was a work in progress. It had 19 friggin' patches. Yeah. That is not a game that I'm going to open up my new console with and throw it in there and say, worth the damn. They should have bundled it with Forza 7. That's what they should have did, because that game was amazing at the graphical fidelity with the X. That would have been perfect for them.
I agree with that. That would have.
But they just and every single event, you can't. It's not even the bundles. We were at PAX.
Well, Jazz, I'm gonna tell you this.
PUBG down our face.
Jazz, I'm gonna tell you this.
We were at PAX. We can move.
I'm gonna tell you this, and we're gonna move on, right? Jazz, I better not see you on PUBG on PlayStation.
I'm not playing this shit, man. Fuck it. I think of Aaron Greenberg when I play fucking PUBG and his chicken fucking sandwiches. I'm not doing it. All I see is him and his fucking frying pans. And I'm telling you, we were at PAX. PUBG was all over fucking PAX. They even had Major Nelson's podcast with Dead Mouse and the green guy, and they handed out skins for your Xbox controller with Dead Mouse advertisements with PUBG. I got the fucking thing that got stuck on my Elite controller. They marketed this game like it was God's gift to fucking gaming, and it's fucking trash.
I mean, it's trash, but still almost 1 million people playing it on Steam.
Yes, because they're giving it fucking hand-me-outs in every which way.
It's how often on MPDs? How often?
It was bundled with fucking kids meals.
Okay, Kid Smooth on MPDs. How often is PUBG on that list somewhere?
Yeah, PUBG.
It's number 6 on MPD on just the Xbox.
No. It remains.
Regardless how you don't like it, it's still has a market. People.
It's been on there. Not as long as GTA 5, but it's been on there.
No, it hasn't been out longer than GTA.
It's
been on there.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not sweating. I'm not really sweating like that. To me, it is what it is. It's PUBG. I only started playing.
Don't care about PUBG. You talk a lot about PUBG.
I personally, I know I don't.
Microsoft marketing is PUBG
because it's Microsoft marketing.
They just
because that's what they tell me. I talk about PUBG. Hey, Jess,
what the hell did they announce at Gamescom? They announced a PUBG controller with fucking rubbers on you, so when they fuck you, at least it's safe.
Whatsoever. Kid Smooth, you done marketing. You actually have a minors in marketing, don't you?
Yes, I do.
We got rubbers now. We got the rubbers on the PUBG controller.
Dude,
see, this is the kind of dude that you give a company to, he runs straight to the ground.
Yo, they had Gamescom.
Jess is all talk, doesn't know any knowledge to anything he's talking about.
Oh, really? Okay, what was behind the curtain at Gamescom?
We're not talking about that fucking. We are talking about running a multi-billion-dollar company in marketing.
It wasn't
okay. Hold on. No,
the fucking PUBG controller.
What's your resume controller? What's your resume marketing?
Oh my god.
My resume marketing is that
you don't put marketing.
You put your best product forward, and they put a fucking preview game and broken ass shit with their best console. That's not good marketing to me. That don't sound good marketing to me.
So, but who are you to give people that's actually marketing and has been in it for 15 to 20 years? Who are you to give them advice?
You're right, because they're winning MPDs. They're doing such a great job.
But you act like that. You know what, Jazz? It's whatever. Man.
Those marketing guys. We gotta donate. Yo, they got the cream of the fucking crop over there.
All right, the Ravenflow. Let's see. Ravenflow says, "Talk that talk."
I'm gonna do marketing for them. I'll turn that shit right around.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you will.
Nah,
man.
Oh, I would.
Easy.
Your marketing, it would be like reverse damage. I don't think I don't think.
Yeah, Jazz would literally get fired in a year working marketing.
Oh my god! Oh shit! You fucking released a broken ass game.
You get fired in a year. You'd be like, "Yo, I don't like PUBG. Let's talk shit about PUBG. You don't need to buy PUBG." You're like, "That's."
Oh my god, guys! Wait a second. Just a year ago, I think all you guys were saying that they should have bought. They should have bought Bluehole, right?
Yes, I still think they should do it. Yeah,
you know what? If they IP and then rebuild the game to make it exclusive, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, just
like you guys be acting like because this game isn't beating Fortnite, it's a failure.
No, I mean, I don't think they should abort the studio.
Wait till the competition comes out. We said it last year. This game is in trouble. It's been in trouble, man. They have not fixed it. They have a fucking hashtag fix PUBG. I didn't make it up.
Let's just move on.
They did.
I'm not arguing about this anymore. This is literally the same thing with this PUBG shit. Like, I really feel like PUBG touched you inappropriately.
I just want people to stop blaming Microsoft for things, or not even Microsoft.
No, I don't.
Xbox. Like,
it's not Xbox's fault.
It's like, well, Xbox, it's your fault because you're trying to get access to some games. Whatever game you have access to, it's a problem. You killed it. All right, moving on to old games. There's some talks. Sony is releasing a PlayStation Classic. You know how Nintendo does the NES Mini or the NES Classic and the SNES, where you get this little $100 console or $80 console, and you have access to all the the classic games of that era. It's like having like a native throwback console. So this one, we all knew PlayStation was going to do one, or people thought PlayStation would or should do one, being that they have the PlayStation 1 and the PS2 would be a good idea. And they finally announced one today. It looks cool. It's launching with like 20 games, PlayStation 1, the PlayStation Classic. And a lot of people, including me, we had something to say about it. And we only had something to say about it because PlayStation fanboys trounce Xbox for hyping old games and playing old games with backwards compatibility. And then that guy, Jim Ryan, the executive that's always saying something questionable.
What a douche.
Said he said what was his wording?
Basically, he said like, who wants to play old games because they look horrible? That's basically
look at them, they look horrible. He basically shit on PlayStation's legacy. He's just like, like a douche.
And so people are like, well, wow, okay. It's very contradicting. So
I think that was way before they saw the success of the NES and the Super NES classics. Those things, the fucking hotness of those things. That guy, they put him in a fucking locker room and said, stay over there, shut the fuck up. We're gonna release.
Wait a second. Are we talking about the PlayStation backward compatibility now?
Where was Merc?
No,
Merc, when you look at a PUBG shit.
Wait a second. Are we talking about the PlayStation backwards compatibility console?
Yes. And that guy, Ryan douche guy. I don't know his name is Ryan Ass.
Oh, that's right. Who wants to play old games? That's right. I remember him.
Yeah, they look
he actually said, if I'm not mistaken, he said something to the effect like he made fun of like the way PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games looked. That why would anybody want to play this? And here comes this mini console. Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna buy one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I pre-ordered mine too.
Oh, I pre-ordered one too.
About that.
I'm buying one, but by the same token, it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. You got a lot of guys talking about back compat, this, that, the other. You got the Sony executives saying the same thing, and then they do this. It's just kind of funny, man. That's all.
Well, I think what happened is, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What happened was the reason the backward compatibility came up because Microsoft, they put the tweet out and they said play
Xbox
500.
UK.
Play 500 classic Xbox and Xbox 360 titles in your Xbox One today totally free. Some of them are Xbox One enhanced, which is bullshit statement because it's not free. So, and it's it's an emulated service. They're not free. You still have to purchase them, or
Modern Warfare. If you have them,
hold on, or Modern Warfare.
It's just like, how do everybody ignore that?
You can't, when you put totally free
right,
in there, I think it's misleading. Once again, it's misleading. You're saying totally free.
It's not misleading.
People no, because people asked him. They said, "Wait, you mean I don't have to buy them anyway?" They said, "No, you already own them." He said, "If you already own them, there's no need to buy them. Just download and put the disc in." But either way, if you don't own these, you still have to go buy them used, or you have to buy them digital. So it's not a free thing. Like, it's not a free. What is free is you have the ability to play these, but the games aren't free. You can't just play them for. So what I'm saying is,
so the person asked, like, "Oh, I could just get them for free," and they're like, "No, you have to have them already."
Yeah, I think that the whole backward compatibility thing. First of all, the PlayStation 1 Classic, it's something nostalgic for collectors. It's good for the fans. It's fan service.
Is it PlayStation Now nostalgic?
No,
because there's no PlayStation 1 games on PlayStation
totally different.
Now.
That's a totally different.
So my question, they knew how to remake the console, but they couldn't remake a software to play the old games on.
I'm pretty sure they do.
My thing is that I don't feel that the PlayStation Classic is their response to backwards compatibility. I think
it's not.
No,
It's
it's definitely not that.
Of the NES Classic.
They
and
just want
Super
that.
NES.
They just want that money that people.
Yeah, from the Super NES, NES Classic. They
No, the
want
reason why
that
backwards
money.
compatible is in the talks because if backwards compatible was in the system, you wouldn't need this.
Yeah, but also too, if Sony really wanted to sell these games, wouldn't you think they would put it on a system that has an 80 million install base rather than on some piece of plastic that's a zero?
Well, actually,
So at the end of the day, that's
because they actually are putting some of these PS2 games on PSN. You just have to rebuy them.
you see. Here's the thing.
Yes,
that-
no, you're right. But they also
not-
are 1080p though. They do make them work, but the 1080p.
See, here's the thing.
They have
Like
trophies.
putting it on a console, that would help them. But putting on an exclusive console, especially all of these NESs,
that's what it is. Yeah.
all that the reason they're doing it on its specific device is because they're going to ride off the cloud of those machines. It's going to be that thing to where you get that to play those games.
Yeah.
And let's be real, it's $100. You could put something on a console. First off, these games are so old. The majority of your fans are ain't going to know what the fuck that is. And if it doesn't look to a certain standards, people aren't going to buy that. They're going to make more money by charging $100 for all those games than charging those games like $5 to $10 a piece on the
That thing's going to be a little chip, like inside of it. It's going to be like a little chip. That's it, and it's going to have the casing of some of the PlayStation 1. Like, it is definitely,
and I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a response to the
GameCube.
NES thing.
I want Nintendo to do a GameCube. I want Microsoft to do their original Xbox, even though they probably won't.
I got yelled at all fucking day.
I don't want
it's
Xbox.
Stupid.
I don't want Xbox to even touch that shit.
No, I don't think it's necessary.
I think it's cool.
Yo, I think if they added online to
it's fanfare. It's all about fanfare.
That would be worthwhile.
No, and what's funny is like it kills me because if they would announce that, I guarantee you, for as many, that's cool. I'll be seeing tweets. I'll be seeing they need to work on games and games on them.
That was my hour and fucking 45-minute podcast I had today. Was that if that's all you got, then I got a problem. But if you're giving me new games and you give me some of that old shit, I'm good. But if you're relying on that shit and that's all you're giving me, Rumble Roses, Major Nelson, and that shit, and that's all you're relying on, then I got a problem because now you're resting on your laurels. We're not creating new shit.
But you also got to remember that the original Xbox had the original Xbox had a lot of games that they're only on the original Xbox. That's the only place you could play them. They had a lot of games that were on there that they could do. They could do more than 20 games if they wanted to on the original Xbox Classic.
I do want to ask Grind, because they haven't formally announced anything. So Microsoft's not working on anything.
We don't know what they're working on.
No,
all I know is that they're not talking
they're
about
not coming at all.
I don't know, man. Where's Crackdown? Where's Ashen? Where's Below? Where's Fable? Where are these games? Where are the announcements? We don't know.
Shout out to Rossetti.
And dude, this has been the second year of we don't know. So this is not just brand new.
And no one's debating that.
Shout out to Rossetti for the $2 donation. Xbox did it right with back compat.
No, they did. They're excellent job.
They did a good job. Yeah, they did a good job.
They did a half-ass job with the OG Xbox stuff.
I don't like this shit. I don't, because you got companies like Nintendo that won't give the consumers what they want, which is emulation on the Switch, because they'd rather sell you them independently.
That's all bullshit, man.
You're going to start seeing that on PlayStation. If this catches fire and they sell a lot of these, you're going to start seeing this shit again on PlayStation. They're not going to release these ports on PlayStation because they want to save it for that device.
Yeah, and you want to know what else I might think that you see on PlayStation? That subscription bullshit. Because that Nintendo NES online thing is a fucking app. And those games are tied to that online thing. You're going to see like a subscription like, hey, you want to play PlayStation 1 games? Here's our PlayStation 1 like app and service. Like, and you'll get PlayStation 1 games fed to you per month. If they copy from Nintendo, if that shit works, they're going to add that shit to PlayStation Plus or whatever. They're going to add it.
They haven't established online. So I think, unless they try to charge you more. If they like hiked up the price and they put that on, like we're giving you more. I don't think Sony would do that. If that would happen, I think they would use that as another perk to having PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, because think about if like even Microsoft does that with Game Pass, but right now if they have enough backwards compatibility, they could be like subscribe to your Xbox 360 Game Pass and now your Xbox One Game Pass. Like maybe they'll have different subscriptions for different generations.
I think that's safe for PlayStation now though.
Yeah, well, PlayStation now they added 2 classics. They don't have PlayStation 1 games. They got PlayStation 2 classics they added. They got PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4.
I was surprised they added fucking Bloodborne to PlayStation now. That surprised me.
They get them ready to
cool.
that native download shit. I'm telling you.
I think that
they're
when
doing
they
that
see a
shit.
spike in their subscription, don't be surprised if you see The Last of Us, you see Persona. Like the moment that subscription
cool.
goes up, they're gonna
That'd be
start
it.
hitting
Yeah,
that
yeah.
service hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I agree with Miggy. Like Sony's biggest challenge right now is making sure that everything that works on PlayStation 4 works on PlayStation 5. Fuck like, you know, PlayStation 1 and 2 right now. But Nintendo with their shit NES stuff, like the reason why I was saying like Xbox with their OG Xbox games, there are only 32 of them. They only announced them in April. Like that was it. They have not added more OG Xbox games. And one of the problems is that those games do not have online functionality anymore. And when I saw Nintendo
games are very old and
I was mad
online, man. But when I saw Nintendo adding online to fucking Mario Brothers and ice hockey and baseball, why couldn't Xbox make those games, OG games, work with Xbox Live? Because that killed Crimson Skies for me.
Some of them really, Crimson
Skies
Skies
and Counter Live and Reloaded.
I would have preferred them like low key. I didn't even want an original backwards compatible. Like they should just let that shit where it was. Because it takes some time.
Well, Nintendo had no choice but to add online to those games because they're trying to sell you their online.
No, they didn't have to add online.
What new games that Nintendo other than
Nintendo didn't have to add online to any of those classic games. Those games would have sold in their own matter.
They had them on Virtual Console for years.
18-bit and 16-bit games sell, so they didn't have to add online. That was just
but the thing is, aren't those games tied to Nintendo Online?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the reason why people are subscribing.
If they were sold on their
that is why people subscribe.
Would have bought them by itself.
Look,
right.
Backwards compatibility is good for the 360. But has anyone here played any of the original Xbox games?
I play Crimson Skies because I had the 3 of them.
Wait. You're talking about on the Xbox One?
Yeah, the original OG ones.
Yeah, I played a couple of them.
Look, at the end of the day, it's cool if they would have put the multiplayer aspect. I think games like Crimson would have did better. I think Fusion Frenzy would have did better. But the majority of those games, and what kills me is it's just 1 or 2 games that they needed that. Like they didn't even need online to all of them. But I would have preferred them to not even touch backwards compatibility and get the people who did that to maybe get more backwards compatibility for the 360 games because a small percentage of people want to play that shit.
Well, I think they did the original good. But they should have added more because, like, when you see like the PS2 games coming to PS4, I kind of wish that I thought they were going to do similar to what Sony was doing with their PS2 games. Like,
they did.
I think they're good with the 360. They did good with the 360.
What I'm saying is like, because Sony added, this is 1080p. We added trophies. They gave you an old backward compatible game in 4x3.
I have no idea why they didn't add achievements to that game.
I don't know why. I think that would have been
that's my issue. It's like
because it's a built-in, baked-in ecosystem, so achievements are there. So I don't see why they didn't add it. And I think
it's achievements there. What are you talking about? There was never achievements.
Yeah, there's no achievements.
I think it's
hard. What I'm talking about for their biggest system, which is 360, over until now, we're in an ecosystem with achievements. Achievements are the thing. So when they added these games going back, I think they should have added achievements.
I think it would have. I think the reason they didn't do that is because when we had I don't know if it was the IOP or this one when we did the Undead Labs. Yeah. He actually said that the achievements are actually part of the dev cycle.
It's tied into the game.
Right.
You don't have to break the game down.
Put milestones and stuff that happen when that is done. That because the game keeps track of everything, and I don't think stuff like that back then were keeping track of. Mm-hmm. I think even if they had to rebuild the games, how hard would it have been?
Because I'm saying PS2 games do it. They have trophies, so I don't see why they couldn't have did it on these games.
Did you guys see the game that charted on MPD?
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2.
So that's free online, right? Free backwards compatibility.
Hey, man. People can say whatever they want about back compat, but when you got a game that's 10 or 11 years old, charting
people wanted that game, man.
I mean, you know how when backwards compatibility might not be relevant to everyone, but you know how it's a relevant thing in general? is when GameStop is hiking the prices up by 20%.
Yo, that fucking day they do that.
Yeah,
shit,
I hate that.
I hate that. That evening they change those stickers.
If a I don't even know if they're $1 billion company, to be honest with you. But if a multi-million-dollar company is hiking the prices up because they can see the demand coming up for that game, then it's relevant. People,
but that's pure profit for them, man, because that thing's just sitting on shelves.
Because they sell them shit's used, dog. Yeah, that's all
profit. XCOM. I went to buy XCOM, Enemy and Within, and it was like $8 or $9.
That's not even that old.
They didn't have it stock. So I was going to play it on the 360. Well, I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait until it gets in stock because I didn't want Enemy Unknown. I wanted Enemy Within. 2 weeks later, it was announced as a backwards compatible game. Went from $9 to $25.
That's crazy.
They did that with Black Ops. They did every single game.
Remember Black
Odyssey?
Black Ops 1 or 2 was like $30 at GameStop.
And it was online jacked up too. Like
and people are buying it. People are buying it.
Yeah, definitely.
So
like, I'm not saying
Ravenflow had put something in the chat.
Compatibility is great. 360 did right. They stopped halfway.
I just want to make sure I because he said, I know he was speaking directly to me because he said when I was talking about the classics, Xbox does. I can name 20 classics that you could put in an Xbox classic box and it would do well. Like Xbox had a lot on the very first. They had a lot of games that were only on that platform. People forget.
Let's start doing
it. Was only on their platform.
Ninja Gaiden,
you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Ninja
like
Gaiden's
people forget Otogi and Otogi 2. People forget Project Gotham 1 and 2.
Panzer Dragoon.
I think a lot of that has to do with license.
Jet Force. I
agree with that. A lot of it has to do with license.
Jet Set Radio.
They had a lot of games that were only
because a lot of people don't know this, but we can talk about that actually. The fact that Final Fantasy is actually coming to Xbox, but
that's a great thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what I think is a lot funny is people are actually Final Fantasy VIII became a meme for like a day.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people.
I want that one bad.
A lot of people don't know this, but you'll probably never see that ever.
Nope.
Because the source code was lost in the development cycle. I mean, they could reverse engineer it because they had to do that with Final Fantasy VII. But
I love that game.
When it comes to 7 and 9, those games are a lot more, demanded than 8. I don't think the demand for 8 is high enough to reverse engineer the game.
Well, people didn't like Squall, so I don't know. I love the game.
People like Squall. They didn't like the direction that the entire
original
story.
Marvel versus Capcom.
Story, yeah, I think
that was on Xbox.
It was a great story.
Because
what's
funny is 8 had like probably the best card game, in the whole series.
Yes,
and I feel like 8 needs to be remade, and they need to put them all in one game and have it a collections. The first 10.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
And I just want people to realize that we go at Xbox for a lot of things, but like these are games I never expected on console on Xbox. Like ever.
But these are games that should be everywhere because
Final Fantasy 7 on Xbox. Yeah. That's crazy.
And I think
deserves to be everywhere.
Shows you that Phil Spencer is improving those relations because I don't even think like it's weird because I feel like if this was something that was plausible, it would have been done by now. I feel like something has happened in the past 6 months that's made this possible. Because if you look at it, it looks like this is just done recently because these games aren't even coming out this year. 12 is coming out this year. 12 is coming out at the end of the year. But the rest are coming out next year. So I feel like this was just done recently. And the reason 12 is coming out so fast is because 12 was just done on the PS4.
Yeah, not Jay.
12 was done last. It was Zodiac.
I got a
Zodiac.
question.
That was last year.
Addict. I think I know the answer to it. You like RPGs and you like JRPGs, right?
Yes.
Okay. See, and I think that's the difference between because me and you have some conversations about Destiny and things we like and JRPGs, and I think that because I think Blue Dragon is a masterpiece. I think Lost Odyssey is a masterpiece. I think those games that I would love to see come back. But I think that the perception may be because I heard a podcast and I listened to Twitter and I was watching things on Twitter and people were saying Jap crap and I was like, why don't people got to understand if you started with your NES or Super Nintendo, you went into PlayStation, that's your best. Yeah, the Japanese owned the gaming market up until basically you can say 360 PS3 era because then we just came here and said Fallout and Skyrims and Oblivions. So they really ran the market, and now it's so different. The market is very different. And I can honestly say, I'm like you, like, I love the fact that this is coming over to Xbox. I hope that the people who love RPGs just as much as you and I do, they support it on Xbox, because I would like to see all these consoles
I feel like
the games, you know?
Like, and what's funny is, like, for people that are really into JRPGs, these are arguably these games, these particular set of games that are coming out to Xbox are arguably the reason the JRPG market is where it is now.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah, 7.
Totally agree.
Every time one of these games came out, it revolutionized the entire market, the entire industry.
Mm-hmm.
7 was so iconic at the time that Square outsourced and hired so many people because they made 9 and 8 at the same time, because they got so much clout from 7.
Yes.
7 was crazy. 7 was
Is that the one that spawned the movie?
Yes.
Yes,
Actually, it was. What's funny is I thought it was funny because Dreamcast guy's a huge Final Fantasy fan, and I noticed that he actually messed up in his video because he called at the time it wasn't actually Square Enix, it was just Square.
It was Square, yeah.
It was SquareSoft, or was it just?
It was
Squaresoft.
It was SquareSoft.
Yeah,
Squaresoft.
the reason that they merged with Enix is because after
Tomb Raider.
that movie, Spirits Within, it almost
lost a lot of money.
Spirits Within. Oh my God.
Yes.
that
And
movie
people don't-
almost bankrupted the entire company, and they had to merge with it.
And a lot of people don't know, like, Dragon Quest was a bigger game than Final Fantasy till Final Fantasy. Because Final Fantasy, the reason they named it Final Fantasy, because it was their final game. And that game was so successful that they just kept on with the series. Like, Dragon Quest was always a bigger game, but Final Fantasy became the juggernaut that we know today. And I think that I'm like this, like, because, like, I saw somebody in the chat mention it, like, Dragon Quest. Like, I'm playing Dragon Quest. Amazing game. I wish that game was everywhere. It's only on PC and PS4. But these are games I think that we need everywhere. But I don't know. I don't know how the in and outs work of these, like, you know, well, this console is doing better here or this. I just think, like, look, if you can put in a system it could run, like, maybe put it in that market and see how well it does. Because I know for a fact with the 360 generation, there were certain games that were released in Japan on Xbox that we wouldn't get, or certain games that we get on.
The last Remnant, they're remastering.
Right.
It's only going to PlayStation. Like, they're not even doing
and
Xbox.
I'm just like, man, some of these games, they resonate certain well in certain territories. So maybe that's the reason. But look, I'm with you, Addict. Anybody who wants to continue to see the support, especially of games of this caliber, you have to go out there, and if you own an Xbox, you got to support these games. At least give them a chance. At least give them a chance. Give them a chance.
I don't think we're going to see Kingdom Hearts. I think there's a lot more to that. I think Sony actually has a lot into that.
Oh, yeah, Sony has a lot into that.
Especially with that console that they got with all three of them.
I just noticed something I didn't really think about. People actually brought up on ILP, because we actually had someone from Digital Foundry, and he brought up the fact that there was Nintendo games on PlayStation platform.
Yep.
And I was thinking, I was like, besides Chain of Memories, the rest were actually just cutscenes, and the ones that were just cutscenes were the Nintendo games.
Yep.
So they didn't have none of the gameplay, just the cutscenes.
Nintendo and Sony are a lot friendlier than people think. They look, even with this generation.
No, I feel like that was.
Do you remember when Nintendo and Sony released a bundled console in Japan? This only happened in Japan. I want to say it was with. I can't remember if it was some RPG, and they released it. You can get a I think it was a PS4. It was like a freaking 3DS, and it was like both versions of the game, one for the 3DS and one for the PS4. And I was like, holy, who does that? You know, but I think it's that market. That's that market.
If there's a game that needs to do well on Xbox to push JRPGs as a market on Xbox, it's Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes.
Yeah,
totally
but
agree.
I feel like
good luck.
Kingdom Hearts comes out and it flops on Xbox.
They can keep all that. That's in the trash pile, bro.
Is it in the bushes?
It's in the bushes.
Oh,
bro. They
it's in the
can keep
bushes.
that crap.
You'd be triple dipping in Battlefield.
I think Kingdom Hearts is going to score 9 and above.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure our score well, but I mean, as far as we'll see what happens on the Xbox.
I see that game scoring
Are
well.
we talking traditional RPGs or like that RPG?
I see that game scoring well, and it sells 10
selling
million
well
plus in a year.
Yeah,
That
I see that
dumpster
game
fire.
selling well. I think it's going to.
That game is going to sell 10 million plus in a year.
That game's gonna be friggin' insane.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
I
insane.
can see that game being a game of the year contender.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Almost every game that comes out in January is a Game of the Year contender in January.
Because a lot of the people,
I know. I always think it's hilarious when people
you kind of got a
this
point.
is my game of the year. Like,
no, but this is different. Like you don't understand. Like just because you guys don't like Kingdom Hearts, this thing has like a cult following.
No, it's a cult
no,
following.
Kingdom Hearts is incredible. The sound, the fucking music and shit.
Look, it's gonna be big on the Xbox and it's gonna be big on PlayStation. It'll probably sell more. On
Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming
but
to.
it's gonna do
Day
big
one.
regardless. Regardless, it's gonna do big. It's gonna do big numbers.
All right, though, guys.
Well, hold on.
Dude.
I'm sure Kingdom Hearts 3 will come to Xbox at some point. Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming day and day on Xbox.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm kind of confused.
I won't miss it.
You know why people don't think that? It's just because it's been associated with PlayStation for so long.
Well, see, I think what people fail to realize is back then games didn't come to just PlayStation because some kind of exclusivity deal. Okay, games only came to PlayStation because that was the only place that can run them.
Yeah, basically, the 64 wasn't going to run them. People got tired of dealing with Nintendo's crap. That's 3, 7, 8. All that was only on PlayStation because the Nintendo physically couldn't run those games. Yeah, would Nintendo say the Square never come back?
They would have to have like 3 cartridges.
Never come back? They told Square, you don't want to put Final Fantasy 7 on our 64, don't come back.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Funny, dog.
Sadly, Kevin, I don't think Kingdom Hearts Collection is going to come over.
No, I don't think that's coming.
I think
they're
publishing.
I don't like how they're handling the Yeah, I'm not gonna play this shit anyway. But
you're gonna play it.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I ain't got time for that shit.
Nope, you're gonna play it. I'm gonna at least get you to stream 2 hours of that game.
No, I'll be playing Resident
Evil. We'll see.
Oh, by the way, I just got to put this out there. George Zimmerman can kiss my you know what.
He's signing autographs.
Man, that dude is a piece of you know what.
Yeah.
Someone said Xbox community's not buying Kingdom Hearts. People didn't think it was.
No, people are gonna buy that game.
People didn't think the Xbox community was gonna buy Final Fantasy 15.
Well, Monster Hunter, right?
Yeah, and Final Fantasy 15 did really well on both consoles.
Monster Hunter did well too.
The Xbox community will buy JRPGs, but we keep getting the shit ones.
And like years later too. Like you gotta get them when they come out.
Yeah, day and day.
Like, Monster Hunter did really well for Xbox. Like I think that's
everywhere. 2 weeks, man. Horizon comes out in 2 weeks.
Smooth. I know we're gonna get out of here, but did you talk about? I think you did. You kind of talked about it a little bit. The Forza.
Oh, nice. The demo.
Yeah, I don't know if you played it on PC.
I played the demo.
I played on PC.
Where did you play that?
I got a bone to pick with you real quick.
I played it on Xbox.
Okay.
I'm never playing Forza on a PC again.
Your titles have been low key trash here lately, kid.
I haven't had any videos.
You got one topic. Planet Xbox backwards compatibility versus PS Classic.
Yeah.
That is literally your title.
My titles has been temporary for the show. For the last 3 shows, I didn't have a title at all, and then I edited after the show wrapped. Once we had like a compatibility.
You guys got to realize what kind of host.
You did misspell that. That's okay.
That Horizon 4 demo's fire though.
Yes,
that's all I've been hearing.
Wow.
That's the kind of games Microsoft needs to do over and over again.
Yes, that game, the graphics, that fucking game is sick.
Hey, the graphics on that game, and I'm playing it on PC.
I tell people,
I know. Yeah,
I tell people.
Okay,
when
you saw at E3, I swear to you that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I've heard nothing bad about this game.
It looks
great.
I don't want to say I would have to go back and look at the E3 footage to tell you 100% for sure that that's the case. But I can tell you that the game looks amazing. The controls also. I mean, I don't know, man. It kind of blew me away for a demo. It's been a long time since I played a demo. It kind of blew me away. And I'm not even really that big into racing games. In fact, you guys have probably heard me say I don't even really like the Horizon games that much. And man, that went from I didn't care Horizon's coming out to I'm playing that day one.
It's just
I think they're the best series. It's the best racing series to me.
Yeah,
Need for Speed fell off.
In an open world, I can't believe it.
Yeah, Gran Turismo kind of fell off, but I think, Gran Turismo is a great simulated game, but I think Forza is one of the best racing franchises out there.
These days,
like, you know, that's what Microsoft needs to aim for. They need to have well-looking games because these days people don't care what a game plays like. They'll play a game solely on what it looks like, and then later be like, "Yo, this is low-key trash, but it looks good."
But Gaming Addict, Forza, you got to think about this also. Forza also, even if you don't buy that, it has a lot of content. That game has a lot of content. So even if you don't buy that DLC stuff, and I mean,
and that's why I have a lot of
content. What Horizon 3 score?
Like 92.
Like 92. Yeah, 92. It's gonna. This game is gonna be in the 90s.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I'm gonna tell you this game will score higher than whatever Horizon 3 scored.
And I do see a lot of people like, "Oh, Horizon's the same game every year." Look, I don't play the shit like at all, but it's not the same game every year.
My one thing is the seasons. If they're gonna be controllable offline, or if they're gonna keep it for a week of the snow and ice.
Oh yeah,
that's
about that.
Like
it's gonna be an ever evolving world.
It's a Metacritic must play 91. It has a tag on it.
That's the one thing is like if they're gonna say like, hey, I don't feel like racing in snow and ice for a week, can I change it?
And that's, you know, I feel like right now, I used to be really skeptical of them making a Fable game, but that talent and that mindset and the direction that company goes, I feel like they can make a 90 plus Fable.
Just make that friggin' world right there and just throw a
you know what? It's funny. It's
those lambs and shit.
You're like, bro, how can these people make a racing game better, right? I mean, it's racing at the end of the day, right? And I'm not even a big racer person.
Playgrounds like hold my beer.
Yeah. And the Horizon and the Horizon series, like I've said before, it's not even, I don't know, man. I wasn't really like that into it. And I own Horizon 1, Horizon 2, and Horizon 3.
You know what you know what Playground does that I've noticed? I don't play their games a lot because I don't really like racers, but you know what they do? They give you shit you didn't know you wanted.
Yeah.
It's like the hot cars or the race.
The Hot Wheels,
You didn't know you wanted. Awesome, you didn't know you wanted Forza and Hot Wheels.
And now they got Hot Wheels. They got Hot Wheels in this one too. Like they got the island, like the section.
Yeah, that's the funny part. You didn't know you wanted Hot Wheels and Forza together, but they showed you did.
Yeah, I think they're good at their content. They make you want to buy because what was that, Rain Island or Storm Island, like in the other Horizon? Like I freaking was freaking out when I seen the effects in this. I was like, this is crazy. But,
it's like, you know, it's like I said, man. If Microsoft can correct that ship,
that's quality.
They can give quality games like Forza back to back from all of their studios. They have nothing to worry about.
Nope,
I agree with that. Let me tell you, and I've seen a lot of good looking games on PC. And that Horizon 4 demo is, man, one of the best looking anything that I've ever seen on PC. That's right up there with some of the best looking games I've ever seen.
Imagine if in 2020, because I do think that's when the consoles are going to come out.
Me too.
Part of me, I would say about 70-30, because 30% of me does feel like they low-key going to drop them next year. But you know,
I'm with it. I've gotten to the point I want them next year. I hope it's
so.
Next year.
If it comes out in 2020, imagine if Fable was. I don't think Fable's going to be ready year one. I think it's going to be ready year two.
Year two.
I'll hype it up year one.
I think we're going to see Halo, Forza Horizon 5, and Composure Ninja Theory's game. I think
they would drop a motorsport game first, right? Oh no, but that'll happen in year one.
Yeah.
Next year will be motorsports.
Yeah, next year will be motorsports.
And the next year after that will be
Horizon.
Horizon 5, the next Halo, and a game from Ninja Theory or Compulsion. And I think those are those launch titles.
Yeah. That's what I say to Benji, 963. Yeah, the way they're doing the seasons is that the seasons are once a week. So like you'll have spring one week, you'll have summer the next week, you'll have winter the next week, and then you'll have fall. Like you'll have fall, then winter, and then they do it rotating. I think they said they're going to start with spring or something like that, or summertime. I think it's start with
summertime. They might start with summer or fall.
I think they're starting with summer or fall, one of those. And each week they change the season. Now, what I read is a lot of talk on Resetera with the devs saying that, well, if I just want to race not in the season that the server's on, can I do that? And apparently if you go offline, you might be able to do it by changing your internal clock on your Xbox. That's what people are saying. So I don't know if that's what they're going to do, or they're going to allow you to change the season manually. Like if you just want to have a race with your friends and just do it independently of what the server says the season's going to be.
Yeah. To my understanding, I thought it was an ever-evolving world that they controlled. And
no,
like
the seasons work
they
every
roll
week.
out.
Yes, that's
okay.
I bet you they're gonna do.
They'll roll out events live and shit, and it's dedicated to the seasons, but
like Destiny top. But the seasons supposedly stay a entire week. My prediction is that I think maybe after the first month, the first rotation of seasons, they're gonna get feedback and say like, a week is too long. Do it every other day because you don't want to be pimping out your Ferrari or something like that, or like the McLaren or something, and go. Start it up on Sunday and go, oh shit, it's snow and ice all week,
bro. Let me tell you, man. When they go through the demo and they show you all the seasons, I mean, it does. I was like,
that demo is so cool. Because I wish we just had races that go through the seasons like that. Like I want to do that.
That demo is so well put together that I'm really hoping that the game when it drops, it's like that. Yeah. Because if it is, I mean, bro, they got a mega hit. They got a mega hit, I think, man.
What game?
Horizon 4.
And I think too, like having that Destiny type aspect where if you have events, sort of like like you have these events like Destiny, it's like, hey, come on at this time, this thing, and you have a whole bunch of cars racing to that event, and then you're all gonna like race together or do something like that. I think that's gonna be pretty cool because that's the one thing where they had in Forza Horizon 3 where the offline and online kind of there were two different aspects, and you really in the free room you really never got that. You got it somewhat, like you would drive to different events, but if you have like just events popping up, I think that would be pretty cool. And like, and it sounds like there's more variety in the missions too. Like there's more things to do.
I think you're going to see a lot more of that kind of mentality when it comes to developing games from here on out.
No, that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, they want everybody online. Like, that's what keeps people engaged. They want.
It's going to be like an online MMO. I hope that they develop it like
reputation. And what's funny is that's exactly the kind of game that you want in Game Pass.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tough to share. Hell
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's quality, though, man. It's quality.
That's quality in Game Pass.
I want to give Smooth a quick shout-out prediction, even though I still think consoles are coming, between December and March 2019 of December and March 2020. I
hope you're right, Frog.
I do have a quick prediction for Smooth. I predict that Assassin's Creed will be showing not this E3, but next E3. So not 2019, 2020, and it will be a launch title. I think with the marketing deal for Xbox, whatever. But you'll see it on multiplats because they said they're not doing another Assassin's Creed next year. So the next one will be a next generation Assassin's Creed.
I think regardless,
because I know you're a huge Assassin's Creed dude, so
I think
that would make sense. If
I think you did a commercial for Assassin's Creed. It looks actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that new Assassin's Creed looks really good.
It looks really good.
I think regardless, really in the next year, we're going to be we'll know what the next Xbox and stuff release. I think what's going to happen is if they do go that route and it comes out next year, I think before E3. They're going to announce their own event, both consoles, and they're going to reveal it. And then E3 is going to be nothing but showing what the launch titles are.
I think if Sony announces a console next E3, Microsoft
they have to.
They have to.
I don't think Sony's going to announce anything until they announce the date of Last of Us, too.
Yeah. You know what?
You know what's kind of wondering me? You know what's kind of curious? Why isn't PSN been announced yet?
A PSX, yeah, they haven't announced it.
Yeah, I don't understand
because I feel like if they come out next year, they could announce it at PSX.
They're not going to announce that shit at PSX.
What's tonight?
That's going to be great. PSX is always in December, and they always announce a console in the first quarter of the year.
February. Is there a conference tonight? The Tokyo Game Show conference tonight? I think.
Oh no, I'm
assuming. Do
you think it's possible that they might not have a PSX this year?
If they don't have one next year, that means that something bigger may be coming. At E3.
No, I mean they still got Paris Games Week. They always
that's true. That's true.
They always make an appearance at
they've always held the Game Awards back for PSX. They've always
PSX was a fan thing, so they use it a little bit as a new stuff, but it was more for the fans. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
All right, but I need to get. It's 11 o'clock, and I've been trying to get. I've been trying to get to the last mission on Tomb Raider, and my eyes are. I've been falling asleep. My bad.
No, you're good, man.
But.
Bro. I'm happy you're enjoying the game.
Amazing show tonight. Thank you guys for showing up and making this thing work. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat
Hit the like button
for making this a good episode. Only 32 likes though. That's kind of like that math.
A lot of people watching.
100 people watching, man.
Yeah. So hit the like button and engage. Has some engagement. If you log in from your Samsung TV, your Android, your iOS phone, whatever, and hit the like button. So all your friends can see it on Twitter. So check out the channel tomorrow. At some point, I should have the Shadow of the Tomb Raider review up. I need a thumbnail, Addict.
Yeah, I'll get that for you. I just got home. The reason I showed up to the podcast late is because I had a family member got into a motorcycle accident.
Hey, I hope they're okay.
Yeah, those shits are brutal.
Okay. Yeah, snapped his leg.
Oh, see, that's why I don't ride anymore. Hell no.
Yeah, it's a fly could take your eye out on a motorcycle. But yeah, anybody else got anything going on before we close out?
Nah, man, I just want to give NVIDIA a shout out, man. Thank you for giving me a reason to not get rid of my GTX 1070.
I still don't have a reason to get rid of my 980 Ti.
That is correct. The 980 Ti matches the 1070 performance.
We're good, Smooth. We're good.
Hey, you guys are good yet for another generation of cards. Thank you, NVIDIA, for dropping the ball. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. You saved me like $800. I appreciate that.
You know what's funny? I love the went south that went for him. Wasn't this man all for these graphics cards like 3 weeks ago?
It's all about it.
Lighten up the chats with
articles. I was all for it, man. But you know what? Hey, I'm glad.
So amazing. We're gonna get so.
You know when I started realizing something was up when they didn't start showing benchmarks, man, of like regularly rasterized games. And
you low key was acting like you was to buy these without even looking.
I almost did.
Was going crazy.
No, good show. Just Frog. I do my Sorry Not Sorry podcast every Tuesday. Hey, go check out the Devil May Cry 5 Tokyo Game Show new trailer that is showing. It's fire looking. Looks really good. Not a huge Devil May Cry guy after part 3, but this one looks really good. Really good. So yeah, go check it out.
Yep, and this is Jed7780. Follow me over on Twitter. And I'm Grinds My Gears over on YouTube. I just did a show today.
I never know what I'm gonna get when I pull up in that show, man.
No, man, you never know. I don't know what I'm gonna do either. I just hit record and go, let's go. I don't even know
what's going on, you guys. Gaming Addict here. I'm gonna go ahead and keep my outro short. Let's go. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
All right, guys. As always, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry, I was watching some wrestler. Like, I don't know why I was watching this.
Ronda Rousey. I told you, man, our host.
No, it was something that distracted me on Twitter.
You watching that Ronda Rousey Xbox One X signing?
What?
Oh Lord! Did she really do that?
Yeah,
she really do that.
You know what's the funny thing about that is
nobody want no Ronda Rousey Xbox One X.
I bet you that gets sold.
It's gonna get sold. It's getting sold.
Yeah, she's doing good, man. She's doing good in wrestling.
Well, what's funny is we make a bunch of criticism saying we need more custom Xbox. And they do this shit. Like
exactly.
Yeah, I saw Ludacris is doing something.
Yeah,
like
they had a custom Xbox One Halo console. I'm like, dude.
You know what pisses me off? They don't mass produce some of these things. If they would mass produce some of them, maybe I would buy one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Line them up in November. Let's go.
Microsoft,
please. Lame ass to go buy the Halo one. Like, let's be real.
I would buy the Halo one, man.
Please,
totally
release more custom consoles, like decent ones, and not all these.
We don't even need them all. Just give us like the Halo one, the Tomb Raider one, and then you're good.
Yeah, I need another X as it's looking into. I'm probably.
Well, however, I hope they do bundle the console, the headset, and a white Elite controller. I'm kind of.
They got that GameStop.
Are we offline yet?
Oh, no, we're not offline. I never did the outro. All right.
Oh, do your outro.
All right. Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. To good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
I really thought we was offline.
Hey, Kevin.